and 2 ahead of me. I choose to live and to grow, take and give and to move, learning, loving in my own chaotic, insecure delusions for a peace to move through. I wanna feel the change just come in me. I wanna know what I've been, I wanna know what I've been, I wanna know what I've been hiding. In my shadow, changing, stretching up and over me. Soften this old armor, hoping I can clear the way. By stepping through my shadow, coming out the other side. Step into the shadow, 46 and 2 are just ahead of me. Going in my shadow, changing, stretching up and over me. Soften this old armor, hoping I can clear the way by. Stepping through my shadow, coming out the other side. Step into the shadow, 46 and 2 are just ahead of me. See my shadow changing, stretching up and over me. Soften this old armor, hoping I can clear the way. By stepping through my shadow, coming out the other side. Step into the shadow, 46 and 2 are just ahead of me.
Wicked and wild wind blew down the doors to let me in. Shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate. Just a puppet on the lonely string. Oh, who would ever wanna become? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing. Rolling cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield. My missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter will call my name. together through thick or thin. Friends forever, we'll be together. We're on top, 'cause we play to win, win. I know I can depend on you to show the way and see me through. Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty, we'll stick together through thick or thin. Friends forever, we'll be together. We're on top, 'cause we play to win. Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty, we'll stay together through thick or Hello, 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 hello. Is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone home? Come on, come on, come on now. I hear you're feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain and get you on your feet again. Relax, 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 relax. I'll need some information first, just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb. Okay, 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 okay. Just a little pinprick. There'll be no more, but you may feel a little sick. Can you stand up, stand up, stand up? I do believe it's working good. That'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child has grown, the dream is gone. I have become comfortably numb. Okay, 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 okay. Just a little pinprick. There'll be no more, but you may feel a little sick. Can you stand up, stand up, stand up? I do believe it's working good. That'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go. Thought it's time to go. Out of the corner of my eye, I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now.
This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything Xbox Era does is only made possible by our community and the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our executive producers and MVPs are an amazingly generous bunch, only shown up by the incredible support of our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely Xbox Era CEO, Torn Raptor. This community is the best one on the internet, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra and pledge your support. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Xbox Era podcast, episode 259. In fact, we're here to discuss the latest in gaming from across the video game industry, but overall, we're focused on your preferred favorite platform, Xbox. Good luck out there, kids. Xbox Era is a fiercely independent and community-driven publication, and it's all powered by you guys. Big shout-outs to our MVPs, executive producers, but especially our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin, and our wonderful CEO, generous too, Torn Raptor. I am joined, as I often am, when Nick just ain't here. Thank God. It's the wonderful Asante.
What's going on? I'm sorry.
Don't do.
He's been really lazy with it lately, so
yeah, he's not put the
There you
effort
go. There you go. No, I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy you're
Thank you
here.
for the invite.
It's always a pleasure, mate. Any time that one of us is out,
I'm
we're
here.
all like, let's get K.
I'm super happy to be here so that I can ask you to your digital face, where's my copy of Console Wars, sir?
I actually had an update just before the weekend. Hello, Jesse, as well. Obviously. But yeah, let's talk console wars briefly. I'm reeling a bit because I was linked to a Dutch podcast discussing the game, and I was like, oh, cool. But then I turned on auto translate, and they were very mean. So screw those guys. I was like, didn't know what they were saying. I was like, hey, happy to send a review copy. And then I turned on auto translate because Jesse was like, yeah, Google can translate, and they were like mocking me, my clothes, my hair, my design.
You know what? Don't worry about them. They were all a bunch of clothes sucker. Just say that.
Okay.
Don't worry about them.
I'd like to see them come here and say that here in America, buddy.
That's right.
Come on.
So, Kay, I need to warn you about this. I should have warned you about this. In fact, it's not fair to have not warned you about this and the audience. Someone in the Xbox Era community.
I forgot this. By the
and
way,
you can all.
we're going to come into this with this music. I forgot. I told you I forget.
Someone in the Xbox Era community sent Jesse a DXLR, which is a little kind of like a sound guide device, and you can do pitch and reverb and stupid voices. And we were doing our spring subathon yesterday, and for like 3 hours, he pretended to be a high-pitched American lady, and I wanted to die. And I am.
Why
just
are you
gonna
assuming
apologize.
it's a lady, buddy?
Because
You think
kept
that's okay to
saying,
do?
every time I was mean, you kept saying, like, am I being a misogynist? So I'm presuming. All right? I'm sorry.
Your wife was on the calling in. Hello.
It's hurting me. It's
Your
hurting my
ex-wife,
brain.
of course.
It's really irritating.
I'm not
I'm
gonna do
really
it a lot.
sorry.
One
to
of those
everybody.
shows. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I'm happy
Once
to
in a
sign
while.
up. This is great.
Anyway,
For
so
the
Corkenstein.
main benefit If you get a question right in what year or name a game later. If you get a question wrong, please don't sue us. TV shows.
That's fun.
Nice.
It's fun.
Very
That's
nice.
all it should ever be used for. Ever. Korkenstein. You know what you've done. All right?
Oh, Korkenstein did it. The great Korkenstein. Oh, I love Korkenstein. Awesome.
No,
You know
I used to. I used to love Korkenstein.
Do you know what Northern
Well
Beat
guy
just did? Northern Beat just signed up with the Twitch Prime. Thank you, Northern Beat.
Very nice.
Wow. Big thank you.
You know, I could make it so you could hear those, I bet. I'll try and figure that out.
Maybe. I just want to call out as well, watching for the first time ever live is Andrew Shivers in the chat. First time ever watching live. Welcome to the watching live. It's a fun experience, actually. We've got a fun show in store, I think. But admittedly, there's actually not much in the news this week. But that's a good thing because we've got you here, Kay. And Kay, you play video games. You know, so when I say, let's talk about what we've been playing, and you go, oh, Fortnite, Rocket League, not going to happen this week. Not going to happen. You're going to tell me, you're going to give me tales and anecdotes of all the different little things you've played, and I'm going to say, wowee.
Actually,
okay.
I played this week did happen to be Fortnite.
No!
But the only reason I played it, sir, was because I was testing out my Odin 2 portal, which is an Android device which has way more power than it should, and I was wanted to see what it could do because
how it can handle it.
the only game in the only game you can think of that can scale from Android to 4090.
Okay, Fortnite. I'll allow it.
I did play it for a few minutes. I did. I'm not really a Fortnite gamer, but I did play it for a few minutes. I'll tell you that. But yes, I have actually been playing. I finished South of Midnight, which I played a couple times at this point because I felt like the story warranted a bit more attention. I really enjoyed that. And then I moved on to AC Shadows, which has kind of taken my life for a while.
Well, before you talk about AC Shadows, you know, I haven't spoken to you. Like South of Midnight, it's been out for I want to say a week and a half, 2 weeks ish now, if you include early access. How did you find it? How were your thoughts? Did they align with kind of like most of the internet in that? And I'm generally summarizing: exquisite art, music, sound, story. You know, it's okay as a game. Kind of vibe, like, and I hate to boil it down like that because there's a lot more to say about South.
There's more to say about but for me, the combat, the combat was a 7.5. The traversal was an 8. The story was like an 11. Yeah, and it kind of evened itself out in that way, right? Meaning, I think the 7.5, I wouldn't throw the 7.5 away. I had a great time with it. Right? I really did. I enjoyed my time with the crackdown nature of Finding of the Floofs, right? I enjoyed my time with that. And of course, as soon as you realize that that's what you need to do in order to augment the combat, now you're hunting them down left and right? The little sign says go left. Obviously, your gamer brain goes right. So
absolutely,
that's how we do it. So we find all of it, and it made the combat. It kept the combat engaging, right? My podcast partner Everborn Saga criticism that he gave it that I tend to agree with is that even after you interface with it the way they'd want you to, because the amount of the different level of enemies was so minuscule. I think there were 6 variations that eventually that idea of keeping you thinking on your toes, because when they're working on at full clip, they're keeping you on your toes. You have to use this weapon versus that weapon. And it's really dynamic.
I think
it's dynamic and chaotic, and it keeps you on your toes, and you have to constantly be checking the meter as to when you can use your next tool again, right? And all that is great, but because they didn't strewn the enemies throughout the world, and because there were only so many variations, eventually it kind of became one note. But for me, that happened around chapter 11 and a half. How many chapters are in this game here? I think 12.
Yeah. So it kind of came to life at the end a bit.
Well, for me, all my floof hunts came together towards the end. All of my powers were at their highest form. I'm dispatching enemies left and right. After you finally get to that final form, it's still great and fun to play a few more rounds and different variations, but now you're omnipotent and you're just like, okay, I'm done here, right? But that was at the end of chapter 11, and the thing has 12 chapters. So for me, it did not become repetitive or boring, because right when it was ready to outlive its usefulness, the whole thing was done. So for me, the story was excellent. I really loved that story. It hits home with me in certain aspects. I think more people should learn about these worlds. I've heard now that if you have played South of Midnight or you haven't done so yet, there's now on the internet an amuse-bouche combination of South of Midnight and the movie Sinners. Go watch those two together. Like, I hear that's a thing. You'll hear Haints in one and you'll hear Haints in another. I'm just saying. So go do that. Right. Okay. So I thought it was really good. The reason why I really give it, I would say it's an 8.5 towards 9 as a game.
Hang on, what package. Jesse scored it, I think. 8.5, yeah. Jess, right? Yeah.
Oh, and Jesse by far, you are credited with the best beginning of a review of any.
What are you talking about there with the beginning of my review, young man?
It was just immaculate, good sir. I have nothing else to say. I'm just saying. No, I was dying. It was great. It was fantastic. But yes, it was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope more people get a chance to play it. I think it's the best way I describe it is, I believe that gaming, as any other medium, has matured. TV, movies, books, all of that have many genres within them. Many different types of stories mature and the like. Games like this, I can hand to you and say, this proves that our gaming medium has matured. Right. Yeah. Even if the gameplay may not be where it puts its first foot forward, it's a delivery vehicle for such powerful storytelling, and I think it's very valuable. Yeah. So,
I admit I haven't finished it, right, and that's terrible of me to say. I'm hoping that when I finish this next review I'm doing, I'm going to be able to go back in and clean it up.
There you go.
It's not a crazy long game, so I do want to finish it off, because I feel very similarly to you in the way that you feel about South of Midnight, probably something like Hellblade 2. Where the point of the game is not necessarily this deep, engaging gameplay. The point of the game is something a little bit different than that. But I totally get where you're coming from, and congrats to Compulsion, because I think it's done well. From a critical consensus point of view, like I think they knew going in that the gameplay, is what it is effectively. Like they've chosen to push the other elements of the medium in different ways. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? I'm not,
and there's nothing wrong with the combat either. Like I would really push back to those who say that combat is bad. I think there's nothing wrong with the combat. No. I just think that the other elements are elevated so far above that it makes you look at the combat in a negative way when it doesn't deserve it. Like the combat is more than serviceable. It's fun if you put more into it. It's great, but that storytelling, that art style, oh my goodness, it's just beautiful. So it makes you go, why is it that everything else and then that? And that's what kind of makes that
video game game combat with the rule of 3 and everything being really important. But then when you're doing that while something like this is playing, it just
takes it to a different level. Yes, indeed.
And all those songs being sung by the actors and actresses who were playing those roles always added more to it with the story. With this being Jolene with her thick hips talking about how everything went down between Two-Toed Tom and someone else. It hits different once you get the context around it all.
Yeah, it's interesting as well. The devs at Compulsion have actually shared, I think this week, that the entirety of South of Midnight's soundtrack is entirely copyrighted.
Yeah, that's why I don't mind playing it right now.
It can be used and played and reused and whatever, and it's all great.
Why didn't they do that when I was interviewing Chris Fox for the show? Cheap plug, Chris Fox, audio director for South of Midnight, came on my show and interviewed
that's awesome.
Weeks ago. Yes, but we couldn't play the music. Dang it! I should have been able to play it.
I put it in my review, the beginning and
did you?
And your book ended by big music things for them.
I was concerned that there might have been something, but now it's official. That's awesome.
Xbox anything? Okay. Xbox Bethesda anything? Okay. No. Don't. Bethesda,
Oh, wow.
Bethesda pings
Okay.
on it because Bethesda gives their full rights generally to the people who made them. So it's
Who
not
made them,
Bethesda
okay,
ping you
okay.
so much as it is the person who made it.
The person who made it.
That
Okay,
still
understood.
happens. Halo through ODSD, you can do again. They had started pinging it when Marty and Michael Salvatore sued him over it. But Halo 4 with Neil Davidge and that crew can't play it. Halo 5 can't play that. But Halo Infinite, you can play everything with no problem. So it's a little bit of a hitter. You got to figure it out. But when you do, you can get some great music going like this.
I can't hear it, by the way. I don't know if we're meant to hear it.
No.
Just because I know that's your fancy new toy.
Now you hear it?
Yes, now we hear it.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning, we've got a lovely community question from SJ on South of Midnight, which is why I'm glad you brought it up. And he says, hey, fellas, I'm glad Kay is here this week. So are we. For my question, since we all know Nick doesn't care for stories in games. Like, Nick's played South of Midnight. Can you believe this? Skipped everything. Has no
But
context.
how do you play South of Midnight and you skip?
I mean, we all know, right? Nick is Nick. It's fine. Have you guys ever had a game story hit you in a way that you weren't expecting? I just finished South of Midnight this past week, and what a beautiful game. Other than the fact that the game was taking place in the South, I didn't know what the story itself was going to be about. So I found myself unexpectedly tearing up a couple of times whilst playing. It had me thinking about the game and music, even when I wasn't playing it. I understand some of the critiques with the game, as there aren't a big variety of enemies. The combat is fairly basic, but everything from the gameplay to the art design, story, and music were incredible. The way it had me thinking about personal life experiences pushed this game into one of my favorite games ever. I hope we get more adventures with Hazel and Crouton. SJ.
By the way,
I
What SJ said, I co-sign everything.
1 inch from your mic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Huh?
If you look away from these mics, you don't really hear the person much anymore. So I get yelled at
little-
for your mic.
Okay.
But you and Nick always look away and talk away from your mics, and then you come back in and it's super loud.
That's often because I'm reading the chat, but
I know. It's a pain in the butt, but that's how
away.
these are. You're supposed to be 1 inch away from them.
All
Sorry.
right, thank you, SJ. I think he got it. I think he got the
Yes.
assignment.
A
He
lot of
understood.
people, I think, a lot of people, especially during like this song, once you know what this song is about, or you learn the backstory maybe of some family stuff for Hazel and her grandma and dad and all that. Like once you get into those sections, especially the one I want to spoil it, but when the game came out and they had the background change to be this tree where you could see a woman holding a baby at the bottom, like Jesus Christ. Once people know what that is in the game, they're like, oh wow, it's not just like some. It's a real heavy. There's a lot of heavy story stuff in this.
Man, all I will say is chapter 11 required, at the end of chapter 11, I needed to put it down and my wife needed to hold me for a while. Just saying,
It's a game about trauma.
I love that games can do these kinds of things. I think it's an important factor of what the medium is. So kudos, Compulsion. Kudos. You were saying about Assassin's Creed Shadows taking over your life as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I would say so just so we preface this, AC, I've enjoyed old AC, but I also really enjoyed new AC. And what I mean by that is, the original kind of that Origins play style, right? It
became an RPG
story. That's right. It's become this huge sprawling RPG since Origins. I love it. I still love it, right? And then I put like 300 hours into Origins, Team Bayek forever. And then I put 300 hours into Odyssey, right? I love Cassandra. And then I put 300 hours into Valhalla and found out that was 25% of the game and went, no, I'm done here.
Valhalla was the one that was what everyone thinks, well, they're too big. It's like, no, you could have finished Origins, Syndicate, like Odyssey, or like you could finish all those in 30, 40,
All those
25
others.
if you really
Yes.
wanted.
Yes, if you wanted
Valhalla
to.
was the 80 or more.
Yes. And then, so I was kind of done for a while. And then because of all the conversation around it, because of, I've always wanted, I'm a big
Because
fan
of
AC.
my
I've always
review.
wanted them to go
Thank you.
there. There you go. There you go. I've always wanted them to go to Japan. I love the Ghost of Tsushima. I believe that Ghost of Tsushima, much like how let's say Space Marine 2 set a benchmark for wherever Gears goes, I think Ghost of Tsushima set a benchmark for, okay, if you're coming back AC to Japan, this is the benchmark you must at least hit. And they took the assignment and they did it. And they really, really did it, right? And it's beautiful. I love the storytelling. It's quite powerful, like in certain instances, many, many hours in. And I like in these worlds, like the reason I'm there, the reason why, even though the story can finish in 30, 40, 50 hours, but I'm like 300 hours, liquid death machine, man. I walk in the room, no one sees me coming, and by the end, they're just dead bodies everywhere. It's just,
and when you are at the point where like you're going to fight, and especially if there's a boss or something, you get to be the elite that you normally have to fight in these games, but the baddest ass elite of all time. Yeah, I really like jumping between Naue and Yasuke. I think it works really goddamn well.
Yep. Yeah. And I will tell you, I spent ungodly amounts of hours playing Naue, and then when I finally unlocked Yasuke, and I'm like, oh, this is what I've been wanting to play. And I started playing Yasuke a bit, and I'm just like, he's not an assassin.
No,
I don't want him.
He's a tank.
There are times to use him, but Naue is better for a lot of the infiltration and scouting. But like, you will learn some places that are enormous. If you're not in the mood to do 4 hours of assassinating to get around and do it, scout with her, hop out, change to him. Everyone's marked. Go and kill them all, and it worked. It feels so good.
So the first thing I did when I walked in, it was like, oh, get to play Yasuke. I have played many hours of Assassin's Creed. I know how this is done. Wrong. No, I'm wrong. Because he is the worst traversal thing ever. It's hilarious to watch him traverse.
If you ever go off the Eagle Points and you're jumping down, you just completely flatten the hay, and it's flattened for like a season.
He falls into the hay and then falls out of the hay and gets caught. It's hilarious.
Do the highest jumps, and he bounces out. Out
of the hay.
And that hay you can't use that hay for a full season, I think.
Oh yeah. Wow. Oh yeah. It's hilarious, And he's like, and as soon as he falls out, he's like, oh, thank God Naue didn't catch me or something like that. It's really good. But no, so I've been using Naue to, do the infiltration, using the AC stuff. And then when it's time to walk through the front door and be like, yeah, let's do some damage, you switch to Yasuke and you're doing damage there as well. I really like it. Obviously, I'll be playing this for many months. But yes, I'm really having a great time with it. I think more people should play it. This is probably like them at their best as far as the new version of AC. Yeah, it's solid.
Have you tried running it on like one of your handheld devices?
I have run it on many a device. Yes, I actually run it on my my X1 Mini right here. This is what it's called. This is the 1X Player X1 Mini. Basically a ROG Ally ROG Ally X plus maybe 15%.
Wow. Okay.
That's about it. That's
because my ROG Ally X runs, and I was so stunned at how well it can run the game.
Well, it runs it, right? Yeah.
Very, like really 60 FPS. I was like, okay, all right. So you're
solid.
making the argument to me for how good handhelds can be now. Really, really impressive.
It's solid. Yep, it's really, really fun, and I've been having a great time.
I'm gutted because I've spent like 18 hours or something in Assassin's Creed.
You're just
Shadows.
A little busy to get back to it, unfortunately.
And it's like I knew it would happen. Like it was just that quiet period. I got a code from Ubisoft via Jesse. I was like, yay! And then life has arrived, and it's just the next month and a half is a bit busy. So it is just I hope to get back to it. I'm hoping it's probably going to end up, knowing me and my luck, it's going to be my Christmas game where I go back.
Oh, it's going back for games of the year.
Thing like what happened and they need a mode. Like game designers, if you're listening, you need a mode for us old greybeards. When life has beaten us up and we've forgotten the controls and we don't know what the story is.
Last time on. Yes.
And last time you played this 300 days ago, this happened.
Oh, and one of the best things about Yasuke.
Who did that real well? Oh, go ahead.
That purple and gold outfit I was wearing lets you parry the red attacks, and at which point he is unbeatable. Yeah.
Fantastic. Who does that real well? CDPR with Witcher. Last time you were here, you were doing this. And
on the loading.
And that happened.
Okay.
I want everyone to steal that idea. That perfect idea. Yep.
I'm gonna call out some fun things in the chat. I just saw one that made me crack up. So Andy Shivers says, I always pictured Jesse as a 30 to 40-year-old guy. Yeah, he's a lot older. He is a 40-year-old guy.
What is that supposed to be?
Oh man,
I'm turned 43 this year. He's not that far off. I'm just very gray.
In a desperate attempt to curry favor with the gods, has gifted kindly 5 XboxEra YouTube memberships. And whilst I appreciate the gesture, it is a long way away from making up for what you have done, sir, to this show going forward. However, this is fun. The sound effects are fun. Tom Henderson's in the chat. Hello, Tom. Hello, everybody. If you want to, while you're listening, while you're watching, whilst you're enjoying,
we don't like Tom Henderson. I'm kidding. I don't mean it, Tom. I'm kidding.
Biggest journalist in the world, Tom Henderson. Hit that like button while you're here. And obviously, if you missed it, yesterday, Jesse and I, mostly Jesse, because he did a few hours more than me, we streamed the XboxEra Spring Subathon 2025 as we desperately work, to crowdfund and cover some of the many crazy travel expenses that we have coming up ahead of us this year for Los Angeles and Gamescom and other bits and pieces and hotels and stuff like that. If you're in a donating mood, feel free. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, even better.
The PayPal's in the pinned in chat.
/XboxEra. And yes, links in the chat. And big thank you to all of the community for showing up yesterday. It was a really fun stream. We did play to start the day off. I played about 2 hours or so of Blueprints. I can see some conversation in the chat. Some person, who was it, said they'd finished the first ending or rolled the cutscene for Blueprints. I'm wondering, Kay, have you played Blueprints?
I have not played Blueprints yet. I hear it's a game that I will literally like get lost in. It sounds like my kind of game. So I've just been biding my time. I'm a Balatro guy. I'm a game with endless possibilities guy. I hear this is totally my catnip.
Kinda. So it's really hard to describe without spoiling it, right?
Okay.
And I played a brand new game from scratch, desperately trying not to spoil too much.
You did pretty well, I think, at not spoiling any of the bigger stuff.
Yeah,
you intimated
I think it's safe to watch, and I might have dropped some hints here and there. But what I would say to people that maybe are going, "Oh, I don't like the RNG of it," so and I'm not sure how much you've heard about the game. I've still been playing it this week because honestly, the addiction is real. It is a roguelite puzzle adventure or architectural adventure, I think the developers call it, where you're in a mansion that's 5 by 9 grid-sized, identically sized rooms, and every time you go to a door, you get one of 3 possibilities to draft a different type of room. So, and it resets every day. You only have 50 steps you can take, and every time you step over the threshold from one room to another, you lose a step, right? And you've got to try and find room 46 out of these 45 rooms. That's the premise of the game.
Wow.
Without spoiling things, at first, as you start to investigate, you will find puzzles within puzzles, hints, clues. Honestly, I feel sorry for people that feel that they have to go and use a guide as an example, because the beauty of the game is, and certainly during the review period, the beauty is discussing it with other people about theories, and figuring out and having these eureka moments yourself. Because initially your goal, and if you're not driven by the mystery to find room 46, if that's not enough for you, then it's not a game for you, and that's okay. But if you are driven by the atmosphere and the vibe of this game, and it does have one, it's really good. And then when if you find room 46, if it's even real, who knows, you'll then be like, okay, and then there's more, and there's more, and then there's more, and the levels of the onion just peel back, and you're just like, oh my god. I was dropping clues during the stream yesterday, but if there's anyone curious, you can go watch the first 2 hours of the subathon and kind of check out.
So admittedly, one of the main reasons I have not started this yet is I have been told that before you start this game, buy a fresh notebook.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I have to go buy a fresh notebook. There you go. Yeah. Now one game, a game that I used to play like this. The game that I used to get away that gave me this before was Fez.
Yeah.
When you sit down, I mean, those games are transcendent to me. Those are like, especially they tend to be indie games made by one person. I'm just like, genius, you. What did you do?
This guy, Tanda Ross, 8 years. 8 years he's been crafting the puzzle.
There you go.
Of this
one
game.
Guy, probably, right? There you go.
It's really impressive.
I can't wait to play.
Yeah, and Chance of Senna, which is another one on Game Pass. If you haven't tried it, you are a person wandering around this kind of tower-like Minas Tirith style village location where each level is a different kind of subsect class of people. And they all have their own language, and you don't speak it. So you have to piece together from signs and communication with other people what words mean. So there's a symbol, okay, that means sword, right? And then you're like, okay, right, this is gonna be, and then you'll put together the language within the game. And as you do, when people start talking to you, it puts in your guesses and you start to figure out what they're saying to solve puzzles. That is really, really, really good. So recommend that one for folks that kind of get off on that sort of
what's it called? What's the
Chance of Senna, I think.
Sennar, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Chance of Senna. Okay.
Yeah. Another one that's really
CHANTS. Chance. Like,
yeah. It's a good game. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Blueprint. I've been playing a lot of a game I don't think I can even mention I have yet.
I don't even remember when that is.
You don't even remember what it is.
Is it Once Upon a Puppet? I don't think they'd give a shit.
Okay, yeah, I'm playing that.
Yeah, it comes out next week. I don't even know when the embargo is.
Next week. Yeah, I'll have some more to say about that. And Jesse and I as well, we played Towerborne.
Yeah.
The upcoming Xbox version out on April 29th for a couple of hours as well during the stream yesterday. If you missed it, we also interviewed game director Dan McLaren and combat lead designer Isaac Torres on all things Towerborne for around 45 minutes of our gameplay filled interview, and I think a lot of fun was had. I think we had a lot of fun.
You like this music behind the game when I have it?
I love
it's fun. I like it.
It's good
because I'm showing the game, and so but Towerborne's really, really fun. I didn't hit hard with it the first time, but them giving us the upper level character and letting me see just how much deeper everything can get, especially now with this new patch. Because they gave us a level 50 character, they gave us solid gear, access to all the abilities, and it felt very Diablo-like, where it was like, okay, now I can make a build and I can have fun. So I had a fire character focused on making everything burn and doing just shit tons of damage and wrecking John on the stats every single time after a match. Even beating the combat lead when he said it was because he was talking. Just an excuse. It's really fun.
It is hard to play and interview / communicate, I think. That's why, come on, think about when you were a kid and your parents were like, yeah, dinner. And you're like, just one more. I'm in the middle of a game. You can't do both. No? Am I alone? I'm alone.
Yeah, Mr. Ipshot. I like that Golden Week thing because it has you fight alongside an NPC for a bit, which I hadn't remembered being ever in the game before. You got the NPC fighting along with you as you're going through stuff, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to have a moment when it comes to Game Pass because, as I was saying to the developers, unlike when you're playing like a really heavy FPS game or something like that, and really all the communication is there's a character here, enemy here, I'm dead here, one shot over there,
eat shit, scrub.
Yeah, get good, all that shit.
Get fucked, noob!
Yeah, with Towerborne, I know, right? It's gonna get old.
That was just a little kid saying,
it's just a little taste, just a little taste. With Towerborne, you can either live in button mashing land, or you can kind of level up and play that skill.
You will have to focus on avoiding damage, I think, as you get into the harder stuff. Because
for sure,
yeah, we were on 3, and I think it goes up to 5. So your difficulty levels, and even on 3, I was in danger of dying if I was not getting good about dodging.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to 30 million players are going to have access to that on April 29th. Wish the best for Stoic because it's a solid, fun, old school kind of game as well, mixing with new school sensibilities. A live service side scrolling beat 'em up. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Yeah, go on.
Question for you guys. So I got a chance to play it too. When was this? During LA, I think it was. I got a chance to go hands on with it for just a little bit. I really had fun with it as well. Got a chance to meet some of the dev team. I feel like, and I similarly had fun with 33 Immortals, which is out now. But I feel like those who have fun with it have had fun with it, but it hasn't really hit the heights that it deserves. I feel like that game really deserves more attention.
It's early access.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think that this game will get some more? Because I really do agree with you that this game is real fun, the beat 'em up aspects and stuff. I'm kind of feeling like it might fall into the, well, those who like the black hole games will play that. It doesn't hit.
There's a big thing on it. I think John would agree with me, which is right now it's 30 or $40 to play it on Steam.
Yeah.
That's the only way to play it. It is going to be free to play eventually, but it's only $30-$40. It's only on Steam. As it gets into Game Pass, I think it will jump up quite a bit. I have no idea how early access games tend to do on Game Pass.
Well, Power World was game preview, and they did pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I do think this is the type that, especially because it is a lot deeper now than it was at launch. Like, I think it's appreciably better in those ways. It could be that Hades-like thing where Hades was very good at its game preview launch, but it's going to explode when it hits fucking annoyingly only the Switch 2 and PC later this year.
Yeah, of course. Understood.
I get what you mean. I think that it runs the risk of, and it's Stoic chose to work with their community that they built for Towerborne to build the best version of Towerborne, and they're not done by any stretch of the imagination. But even I, who put 30 hours into the original, Steam early access version and have played now this version is miles better. In terms of how it feels, in terms of the options available to me as a player, in terms of customization, all of that jazz. The biggest hurdle they have is that I feel like there are a lot of folks that are either, no, I only want a single player game, or no, if I play a multiplayer game, it's got to be like the best of the best, like in terms of everything. I think the art style in Towerborne is gorgeous. The biggest hurdle they have is convincing people to give it a shot and actually pick it up. And I think that the best shot that they have now is with a really solid first impression. Because like if you look at games media and the coverage of the game, like we're an Xbox focused outlet, of course we're going to talk about a Microsoft published first party partnership with Stoic and all of that stuff, right? So we're going to cover the game. But if you look at the wider media sphere,
got nothing
right now. No one's really talking about Towerborne. I think that's a shame. I think that's a miss. But it is a problem that Stoic and Microsoft have to overcome, and I think the only way you can overcome that is by unleashing it on 30 million subscribers and letting them have a really good time. And if that starts to succeed for them, then great. And I think the biggest success point that really comes true with Towerborne is it brings back our youth. It brings back 3 or 4 mates crowded round, all playing on the same TV. Castle crashes, emotions rolling over us from our younger days and our mid-20s, and that is no bad thing. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge. The whole market is going to be a challenge, but it's a solid game, and I'm looking forward to playing more. I think it's going to be one of those things. I think Towerborne this year for me, and I don't play a lot of live service games, but the beauty of the game is going in and doing a mission is 10 minutes of my time. And it's something I can do with family and my son and stuff like that. And that's something that I probably will indulge in a fair bit. Hey, you want to play some Towerborne? Because it can be as light and as frictionless as I want it to be. And if I want to get online with my buddies and play some hardcore Towerborne Danger Level 5 and take on that challenge, because that's where the cool gear is. Do you know what I mean? That's the hook.
Cool.
So good. I wish them luck. I wish them luck.
Yeah, I do.
Jesse, outside of Towerborne and all the things we played yesterday, what have you been playing this week?
Kyborg, which I can't talk about, but comes out at the very end of the month, which is some weird little roguelike-y thing. The main thing that I've ended up playing a lot this week, outside of the Division 2, is called Crime Scene Cleaner, which just came to Game Pass on cloud, console, and PC. Played it on Thursday, and then played it again on Friday during the subathon. It's a mostly house flipper-esque without any of like the environmental destruction, but you're doing all the cleaning you can do in House Flipper, along with some of the pressure washing that you can do in Power Wash Simulator. You are a janitor whose daughter is very sick and requires a lot of money to not die. And so you end up in league with a local mob boss and go to crime scenes, mostly where he has murdered a lot of people. You're gonna see a lot of dead ladies, a lot of dead guys.
Wow.
It's real crimes, like this person was strung up and assaulted and then murdered, and now you got to clean up the crime scene. But don't worry, the guy who did it's over there. He's dead too. It's very European, where
we didn't have a chat with the developer who made this because oh boy, he may have a story.
Put it on Game Pass
going
too.
on here.
But like you got your tools for cleaning, you got a pressure washer there, you've got a sponge, which is good on things like carpets and couches, you've got your mop, which is great for the floors and walls, and it's just kind of like one of those fun, relaxing puzzle-ish games where there's also secrets in every level, and you're going through, like one of the ones I was going into, it had a cat that was in there that was making a mess. I never saw the cat. I would just see the remnants, and I hear the cat in the background. In this house where this lady killed her kids, because her adult sons, because there was an evil voice telling her to, but it turned out the evil voice was just a bunch of Bluetooth speakers around the house. So you have to collect evidence, which were the speakers and the knife in this case. And your job essentially is to go into this crime scene and just make it look like nothing happened. Like this is just a regular old house. And you're in here and it's not...
there's no one talking like this telling you to kill everybody or do everything.
That's already happened. You're just the regular person here who looks a lot like Jay's 2 Cents if you've ever watched any of his content on YouTube. The key art in this game really looks like him. It's really fun. It runs... very well on my PC. I have absolutely no idea how it is on Xbox because I was doing the streaming on PC. Looks nice.
I mean, it's a great idea for a game. I've got to give the
really fun
credit for this.
It's like very relaxing.
It's
you got to
so
put the furniture
dark.
back. Yeah. So you pick up the bodies, you toss them either into the back of your pickup truck or like a big push cart. You got to put all the furniture back where it belongs. The bodies have really fun ragdolls, so you can just pick them up and like toss them off the banister and see them flop. I don't know. It's a weird, fun, good time. Like decent physics, but also goofy and the best of ways. Like I throw him in there, I got it, boom, he's in a body bag. Like they know what to make a pain for the cleaning, but also a lot of the other stuff just works. It's really fun. I am tempted to do a review on it because I just want to keep playing it.
Fair. Why not? I love it. Like boom, he's just really funny.
Twisted sense of humor, that developer. That's great.
Yeah. Wow. Nice. It sounds like we've all been playing some pretty great video games this week.
There are too many.
There's too many games. It's no bad thing. All right. Let's dive into the news of the week. There's not a lot, I'll be honest, but there's some big banner topics that we'll have to talk about. Before we do, as a quick reminder to everybody watching right now, we all really appreciate you do hit that like button, especially if you love K. If you don't love K, then what's wrong with you? Like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that? Let's talk about Oblivion. Let's talk about Oblivion. This is an odd one, I think. I think there's two camps here of community that have some thoughts on this, and there's a couple of community questions on this, so I will slick them into the conversation. But the general gist is this: over months now, there's been an Oblivion remaster suggested that existed. It was verified by Andy Robinson over at VGC. It was talked about by Jeff Grubb. It was talked about by Nate the Hate. It's real, it's coming. And then it was coming the next week, and then it was coming the next week. And then Jeff Grubb did a show. And I literally typed up the article that morning of like, Jeff Grubb says it's going to come out the week of April 21st. That's what he's heard. He put a week window on it. April 21st, the week of, not on the 21st, the week of. Right? And people picked up on it, and I wrote an article on it, and blah, 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 blah. About 30 minutes later, screenshots have leaked. Oh, it's from one of Virtuous's, the rumored developer of this, in partnership with Bethesda's own website. It was first identified on Reddit. It was picked up by Resetera and other websites afterwards. Loads of screenshots. It's real. And it's a remaster, not a remake, of the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. It's done in Unreal Engine 5, it seems, and it's like a similar to Ninja Gaiden 2 Halo C Anniversary kind of dealio, where we have the original game tweaked, I think, running underneath a graphical layer presenting in Unreal.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 5 on top of Gamebryo.
Okay, so cool. Really happy for fans of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. This is all good. The conversation now has been...
Grrr.
It's been a weird one, right? Like, I think that the majority of Oblivion fans are like, oh my God, yes, great. I am so excited. But then I'm seeing another conversation, and I think it's probably best framed by a couple of community questions on this. From Didact Brewer 3, he says, so now that we know it's real, when is it releasing? Is it a total shadow drop? All the DLCs included? Will the deluxe edition have an early access? I hope that Horse Armor is back. Oh no, I really loved that the Horse Armor is back because they've included it in the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about that first. Is this just going to shadow drop, and is that a good thing?
So, because it's in the ether, I can also confirm that I have also heard that this was coming out a long time ago, right? It's something that we've all,
Yeah, it was
Sounds
in
like it's an
the,
open secret.
it was in the
Yeah,
list
you know.
of games from Bethesda in the court case.
as well.
Yes, it was.
As well. So it's been in the ether. It's been in the mix for some time. I think it's great. My question is, what remaster versus remake are we looking at here? Are we looking at the technical term of a remaster or a remake? Or are we talking about the PR term of a remaster and a remake? Because these days it's a little loosey goosey. I know that before remasters were same code tweaked, right? Optimized, updated. Now remaster can be new code, a la new engine. So what denotes remaster?
I would personally, it's like if it's a remake, we are rebuilding the game, taking what was there. We're not using any of that. We are remaking the story that you know.
Every
in a brand
piece of
new
it,
engine,
right?
every piece of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Remaster is the
Taking the original sense.
But what they are
Yes.
doing is layering a graphical overlay over the top to
Overlay
make it
on
look
top
nicer.
of it, right?
Graphical
And then you
remake,
get like
gameplay remaster.
gameplay remaster. Okay. Then you get things like Soul Reaver, which is like a remake of the old assets, and it's anyway. So that's why I'm like,
Yeah,
where
they
what are we gonna
AI'd
get?
a bunch of, like, they did some actual work on the main characters in the Soul Reaver stuff, but then a lot of the environments were just AI upscaled and looked
Which is
bad.
AI upscale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the games
So
played the exact
needless to
same,
say-
which was bad, which would be the exact
Yes,
same case
exactly.
for Oblivion. 'Cause Oblivion doesn't hold up gameplay wise.
This is
Yeah.
my point. That's what thank you, Jesse. That's where I'm going, right? Like, which one are we getting? Because this one needs an actual gameplay overhaul. It does, right? But there have been worlds where people say remaster, right? And then you do get gameplay overhauls. I've seen that in, say, Mass Effect, the remastered collection, which has a lot of remake energy.
There has been some rumored, and again, none of this is confirmed yet, right? So we know it's real, but some of the rumors were that like ranged combat has been tweaked. The HUD is new, and these are all obviously
Quality of life stuff, especially, and like an actual blocking system being less aggressive with the stamina. So things they can tweak while it is still running on Gamebryo, because everything is simulated in the game. So if you're going to remake the game, you are making the Elder Scrolls 6 eventually. Like, you are not just remaking an old thing. You might have the skeleton of 4, but it's all simulated. So you got to make all those simulations work again. We know how much the friggin' opening of Skyrim broke because of one thing off in a corner they didn't even realize was affecting it, because they don't fake their stuff. So if they were going to do this in Creation Engine 2, it would be the entirety of making a new Elder Scrolls game, which they are already doing with 6.
They're also doing.
This is touched up. The rumor is this is touched up Oblivion, which was a great game when it was new. They're going to touch it up where they can to try and help it, but it's still going to be the combat everyone used to make fun of. Like, it's not going to become Avowed or something like that. It's not running in Creation Engine 2. It's not running in Unreal. The graphics are, but much like Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, looked very different with a completely different styling and everything.
Exactly the same.
It was the exact same gameplay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
which
feel like it's
which for
gonna be
better or
more
worse
what we're
is,
gonna
is what it is, right?
I hope they don't fix the faces, Mr. Hipshot. Leave them like they are. It's hilarious.
Well, there's, and in case folks didn't know, as well as streaming the Xbox Era podcast live on YouTube, we are now also multi-streaming. So Jesse has the same stream right now going live out on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/the Xbox Era. Now, it's worth mentioning, there's folks over there, there's folks in YouTube. We're obviously releasing the video podcast on Spotify afterwards. Top 5% of video podcasts on Spotify. Fun fact. But Big Bill in the chat over on Twitch says hello. He says, if the Oblivion remake is real, it is real, bro. He says, I play it every year. That's how much of a fan I am.
It was a great story. Like, for all the games they did, because I played a lot of Daggerfall, all of Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. And Oblivion was my favorite story they did by far, especially like the opening with Patrick Stewart.
Really like it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't get gameplay, says Big Bill, it will be a huge success and a blast to play. People will love it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's old. I mean, I get it. Like, games have come a long way since 2006, right? But for fans that are diehard fans, they'll just go back and be like, okay, yeah, I'm playing Oblivion.
Yeah,
I don't
love it. Yeah.
They're going to be happy.
They'll appreciate the upgrades they've get, and they'll play what they have. I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Now, there is another question on everybody's lips, and this is some of the other discussion that we've seen kind of online this week, and I don't get this one, but I will leave it to the lovely Assassin Entertainment grand benefactor of Xbox Era, who wrote in to say, hi, John, Kay, and Jesse. He did say hi to Nick, but Nick's not here. Another week of gaming has passed. I've been playing the Verse Berserk Kazan on my PS5 after beating South of Midnight. Great game, by the way. And I'm excited to finally play Expedition 33. That being said, Microsoft and Bethesda casually dropping an Oblivion remaster next week with no marketing is just bonkers. My question is, why is Oblivion being reportedly rumored shadow dropped? Wouldn't Microsoft want as much attention on it as possible? Is it because it's not a full-on remake? What's our opinion? What do we think? Thank you guys for all you do. And that's a good question. I've seen this crop up elsewhere, and there are two lines of thought in my mind. Like, I understand the question, why aren't Microsoft making a big deal of like one of the Elder Scrolls kind of favorites being remastered and it's coming out? Like, you could have a solid marketing beat and drum up some hype and blah, 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 blah. But the rumor is that they're just going to release it this week at some point. My old man goes, what the fuck do I care whether Microsoft market the game or not? Do you know about it? Yes. Do you want to play it? Yeah, cool. Go play it. Who cares? That's just me. I don't care about Oblivion. It's not my favorite game ever. I've played it for maybe 5 hours. I bought it on 360 because, well, there was nothing else out on 360 at the time and it looked cool. Wasn't my jam, whatever. But I don't give a monkeys whether Microsoft markets something or not. But this is often a topic of conversation. So I'm curious, as Assassin's asked, do you think that this is a mistake on Microsoft's part?
Honestly, I don't. And that's not to say that I don't think the game is worth marketing, right? But exactly what Jesse was just describing right now, right? There's a difference with a remaster versus a remake. And the remake is the new one that they're working on that will get all the full court press, right? This right here is engineered to help those and excite those who know exactly what they're going to get, right? Which, as we've described, had its deficiencies at the beginning of it when it first came out. And if you haven't traversed that divide, you're basically begging the same level of bad negative PR by releasing it again, unless you gear it specifically to those who love it right now anyway. So making a huge deal about it is inviting new criticism to go, well, they should have fixed the combat. What happened here? Right? But now this is more like, hey, those who enjoy it. They remember it. It's an old glove they can wear, and then the new one will smack you and gobsmack you. And
it's keeping expectations in check. Is
exactly
basically.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. That's what I think maybe what's happening here. That's
a fair comment. What do you think, Jesse? What's your take? Do you give a monkey?
It's very similar. It's very similar to Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, where it's a smaller level. It's a graphical remake, which you're not going through and changing all the code. It's not Resident Evil 4. It's not dead space. Like it is a much when your scope is appropriate, your marketing scope is appropriate generally. Like, and I think that people have got to get used to more and more focused, dedicated, right before and right after launch marketing, because the days of like 6 months of building up. No, Grand Theft Auto's not even bothering with that. They're like, yeah, we know whenever we showed it, shit's gonna pop off, and that's the biggest one. Like the only game that really does 3-ish months is Call of Duty, because you normally hear about it in June or July, and then it's out in October or November. Like outside of that, everything is about a month to go, starts up, about 2 weeks to go, you start ramping. But when it's at launch is the most important time, because there's so much stuff to distract people.
You can go and buy this now.
Yeah, you can't, you cannot keep people focused that long anymore. There's too much. There's too many movies. There's too much social media. There's too many TV shows. There's too many games.
Even within their own ranks, there's too many games that they themselves have to PR and market. It's like, ugh.
Because the other side of this is Clair Obscure is out next week, which we may have a review on. I'll let you know closer to launch. But like that's next week, and people are like, oh, is that going to screw over them? And it's like, I don't know. Like one's a turn based, and others they could have different audiences. I have no idea, and I personally don't care. But I understand why people are interested in discussing it. But some people get very mad. Like, God damn, another rake step. And I hate that term so much. I hate the mother term rake step. Hate it. Overused.
He's been unleashed with that toy. It's bad. Yeah, I do feel like if I was a partner of Microsoft and I was releasing a game this week, I'd be like, yo, guys, don't drop the Oblivion. Because look, that is what everyone's going to write about. That is what everyone's going to talk about, because it was such a big game. It was part of people's childhoods. It's part of my childhood being mid-20s-year-old. 100 years ago. But you know what I mean? Part of my gaming youth. And I think Clair Obscure deserves, its time in the sun, so to speak. But maybe, and this is the thing, we don't know. Everyone's saying Shadow Drop, it's coming next week. Maybe they'll be like, hey, yeah, here's Oblivion Remastered. It's releasing on, and they'll throw a date out at the end of April or beginning of May. We don't know. Does that, we don't know.
A few people in media would say it's 1,000% dropping next week. That is what they have heard. It'd be funny if it doesn't.
We'll find out. But it's definitely real. We've now seen it with our own eyes. There are comparison shots. You can go and view on XboxEra.com for the article that we wrote for this one. I did link an imager library full of all of the
and if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the library pulled from a WordPress site by Ventress?
It was Virtuous's own website that somebody did an inspect element on, saw the subdirectory of images, and just typed in everything but the image, and it was just there listed. They hadn't hidden that directory.
Oof.
Let's just say this probably teach them next time Microsoft hires somebody, they'll go, let's inspect your website's credentials real quick, shall we?
Yeah. It does suck for the developers at Virtuos that have been working hard at this to not be, to have it kind of revealed like this out of their control. Yeah, I do feel for the devs on this one. Like no one, I would have been gutted if like the card game had been revealed before I was ready to reveal it. Do you know what I mean? If someone had got a load of assets off of our drive and gone, oh look, and I'd be like, oh man, I would have been cross. So I do feel for them a little bit, but the leaks in themselves, as Mr. Hipshot says in chat, they're great marketing in and of themselves. So because you've clearly seen the appetite there now from fans. Trev G Rev Razor in the chat, YouTube member with $10 super chat, says hello to the legends upon the Xbox Era podcast today. Coffee has hit the spot. Love you guys and what you do. Keep delivering.
You think that was maybe a Mrs. Doubtfire?
Oh dear, like that. You mean? No, sorry.
Jesus
sorry
Christ.
to your ears, everybody.
Absolutely not, buddy.
You put it at Doubtfire. Yeah, it's fun times. But yeah, Oblivion next week. We'll find out. Read this time next week in gaming magazines.
We'll just be talking about Clair Obscure. because Oblivion.
Yeah.
It'll be like in other news, Oblivion didn't exist. I'm kidding. Probably does.
Yeah. We also got Microsoft lifted the lid, and this kind of was leaked as well. And indeed, it was first spotted by our own Jesse here, along with the XboxEra community. Phil did a talk with NBC's Today Show, I think, and they toured like the Microsoft press offices, went into Phil's room, and there on the shelf was a pad that Jesse had never seen before. It looked a little bit like Doom Guy's armor, and Microsoft then lifted the lid. We've got an Elite Series 2 Doom-themed controller. We've got an Elite Doom-themed, which I think is the better design, personally. I don't care for the Red Elite. A Doom-themed standard controller. And we've got a Doom-themed console wrap, all available to order. I think the console wrap is out straight away, and the pads are pre-order, start releasing.
Pad and console, basic pad and console wrap out now. Elite is out early next week, I think.
Look really good. I rarely want to buy more pads.
Especially when they're $80.
Why do Microsoft keep making pads? It's because people buy them.
People buy them. I am a fool in this house right now. At any moment, I have about 30 the game pads around me in this office right now.
Wow.
I'll pull one up for you. Here we go. You want one? Here's another one. I can keep giving you one.
What is that one? I love the color.
Problem. This is the Razer version, the Razer Elite, the standard, but it was nice. They did a short little run. It came with a stand and everything. So,
very nice. I've got a pad here, but I can't show it to you.
Oh,
yeah. Let's talk after the show. I'll show it to you then. But I can't show it to
you.
Okay. When John says he'll show you something after the show,
I'll show you my pad, baby.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, like people buy these things and they have a healthy profit margin on pads comparatively to that's why they keep breaking. What?
Yeah, no Hall effects and then switch for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But
Hall effects break all the time anyways.
I'm reading in the chat, the lovely Luke from the Xbox Expansion Pass has got them and is super impressed by the quality. Assassin laments that he would have loved an Avowed or South of Midnight Series X wrap. This is the one thing I agree with. Like, they introduced the Starfield wrap, was the first wrap, right? Cool.
Howard
That's a
rapping,
really cool concept.
Like a god.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept. And yeah, there it is, right? And then we've had like a Call of Duty one.
Have that one as well.
And that's it? Yeah. That's all we've had, really?
Yeah. Their biggest games will get it. That's it.
But look, this is Microsoft, and the wraps aren't expensive to produce. That's why you're doing them, because you've got a box you can wrap around, and it's much, much cheaper than making custom console hardware that isn't selling. And yet you aren't giving a bigger, broader range of customization options to your user base. People will buy them. I mean, you tell me, like, if a South of Midnight wrap came out and it had that tree going up the side of the console, you'd be all over that shit. I would
have been all over it, to the point where actually these wrap technologies, quote unquote, has spurned third parties that make a whole bunch of awesome wraps that we wish Microsoft would do.
we Pre-Drag and I did look into, as a perk for patrons, story of like, could we do this? Like, it wouldn't be as like, because we don't have the production facilities or a factory or anything like that. Could we find a way to do this cost effectively, where Pre-Drag could just people watching this show now that look at the artwork that Pre-Drag does across XboxEra, and the book and the card game and everything. He is an incredible graphic designer.
Unless you're Dutch and then you think it looks like shit.
Yeah, the Dutch weren't impressed with Pre-Drag's design.
No. I see Abdel in the chat. He's Dutch. I'm sure he's cool. The others, they were just clothes sucker. Don't worry about them.
Like, we thought about it, but we couldn't quite find a way. Ours would have been like some sort of, like, I don't know. I don't think it would have been plastic, but maybe it's something we'll revisit in the future, right? Because I love the idea of Pre-Drag doing stuff like that. But as Assassin in the chat with the super chat says, all first party games should have console wraps. Honestly, I don't necessarily disagree, really. Like, I understand the realities, and they'll be like, will we sell them for every single game? Probably not. Maybe your consumers will get tired of them. Maybe you just target the big AAA releases as opposed to your smaller first-party output. But, like, I think there's more wiggle room that Microsoft should kind of embrace when it comes to the wraps, because I think it's a really neat solution to custom hardware that's more affordable for everyone in this economy. We sure need that.
You just literally made me upset. You've made me upset. I did not know I was upset. Now I'm upset. Where the hell is my South of Midnight wrap? Damn it.
Sorry, bro.
Where the hell is it? Absolutely. You're absolutely. I would have been all over that thing. You are absolutely right. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Doom the Dark Ages. You can go get all this stuff. You can pre-order. You can get everything now except for the Elite controller, I think, apparently. I thought it was the wrap was available now and everything else is pre-order for the 25th.
Wrap and regular controller are available. Man, I should have been, I didn't think of it. I should have done this. I should have.
And I think you're right. I think you're right, John. The regular controller, far better looking in my humble. The green, that looks,
I should have had this.
Green's my favorite color.
Good. And I'm, as I said, on my show and in my community, we have a thing called pay pig activity. There's a lot of pay pig activity when it comes to me and Xbox stuff. So I've been very cautious not to buy extra, but that controller had me, man. I almost bought that controller. Really good looking.
Fair.
God damn it. So here's the music that was missing, by the way, in case you... All right, play a little bit, because probably not supposed to have it, but whatever. Like, so when you're watching this gameplay, you can just...
Man, that track it absolutely slaps. Like, there's a reason I had to do a montage with that first opening song in the Doom preview we did, because
we're the only people that have this song. Might be. Won't say anything else.
It's good times. Anyway, Xbox, that wasn't the only thing that they lifted the lid on this week. They also pushed, and this is very much up your alley, Kay. Glad we've got you on to talk about big changes to UI Cloud, the mobile app for users across the board here. We talked about this a little bit in headlines on Thursday, but nutshell, Xbox app has been updated. Users can now buy games, sign up for Game Pass, retrieve their Game Pass Ultimate perks. Bad news. Remote play is now out of the app. And you basically go to a browser if you want a remote play, all right? Go to any old browser. We don't care.
The app is a browser wrap. Anyways,
I know, but
so
most things are. But yeah, like I mean, we understand why that change has happened, right? And that's the big Apple that didn't play ball.
Yeah, as they tend to, they're adapting as they need to.
Yeah. We've got game hubs are now live on the dashboard for a lot of users. And cloud with remote play now in on browser, more devices can play remote play, from smart TVs to whatever, handhelds, phones, literally whatever. But also stream your own games has got a relatively large update. You can do that on Xbox consoles now. There's like 100+ games.
And they went over on who uses the cloud at GDC, and one of the biggest sections is Xbox One. There's like a huge, almost a quarter of the pie was Xbox One people who use Game Pass streaming. And now they can do their own games for some things that they might buy that are next gen only.
Yeah. Gentle Stone in the chat says, I think there's a specific remote play app. It was a part of the Game Pass app, but I think the Game Pass app got merged
at some point
to the Xbox
the regular
app.
Xbox app. Yeah.
And now remote play came along with it, and now remote play is out of that app. And
remote play was in the regular Xbox app. Always.
It might have been.
It was always in there, and that's why they can never have the store, because it's like, okay, you can play the games though. So like you can remote play into your. That's why Sony always had a remote play app and their PlayStation app, which you could have the whole store and everything. So it was always the remote play functionality being in the app that required iOS and Android. You got to give us 30%, and they were like, nope, we're not going to do that. So they said, no store for you then. So they finally blinked, took out remote play, but like it's the exact same experience from when I've used it in a browser as compared to the app overall. Maybe it's a little more annoying, but you can just make like the little web app on your Android screen that just immediately takes you right to that web page as well. So
yeah, for go ahead.
Back compat didn't work in certain things, like in certain ways, and I think they've worked on fixing that as well.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, for Android users, none of this matters to you. Go get Better xCloud.
Yeah,
get Better xCloud. It's a free app. You can remote play your local and cloud stream and choose all the bit rates and everything you want. Such a better app.
Yep.
Don't even bother with any of this stuff. It's fantastic. Yeah.
I don't think Marsh
and
likes
sir,
our show.
If you're speaking, I can't hear you, sir. John.
Sorry, my bad. Why haven't Microsoft taken the improvements that are clearly available to all players in Better xCloud and put them into xCloud?
It's expensive. They limit you and everything because they've got the deal with Samsung. Samsung gets all the best. So it's there. They just haven't locked everyone out from it. So if people bring it up too much,
it's a whitelist.
They'll eventually lock it out.
Yeah, it's a whitelist. So there it is. It's a whitelist. So if you want the convenience, just get the Xbox app. You hit the play button. It is what it is. Some other apps give you a bit more tweakability, this, that, and the third, if you so choose. So there it is.
I don't like it.
You don't like anything. You're British.
But what I will say in general, though, the UI that they described and all that, great. I'm so happy. I have been on their neck about the UI stuff for a long time. As most people know, I am a multiplayer, tend to be PC centric, take it on the go kind of gamer. So their UI for that stuff has been garbage, as we all know. So much so that others are rolling their own solutions in the form of ROGLIX and all these other UI things. But more and more, it seems like they're bringing it together. They're making a custom UI. What is it? Comfort mode, making it better visible on handhelds. Every time they do this, it just gets better and better. So yeah, I think this is awesome. And eventually it'll all be one awesome UI that does the great job. But it seems like they need to depreciate features until eventually it gets there.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, they gave up their own store or their own platform, so they're stuck to the whims of iOS and Google. Though Google is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
even with giving $1 million to this president, they're still been told, nope, you've got a monopoly on ads on the internet. Would be great for us if they could not have that monopoly anymore.
Be good for consumers. Yes, I won't disagree. Abdul in the chat. We'll talk about that in a minute. Next up in news, Marathon got its big reveal.
Rawr.
And then there's been a lot of chit chat about it. People poo-pooing the genre. People saying, "Hey, it's Bungie. Bungie can do no wrong," and everything in between. I think we talked about this a little bit last week on the show, but we've got Kay here, and I want to hear his thoughts because there has been some developments now with Marathon. What's your thoughts first of all on what Bungie showed off? Is it piqued your interest? Do you love the art style? Or do you like extraction shooters? Where do you stand on this whole shebang?
You lost me at extraction shooter. There's that.
Yeah,
I'm just a graybeard. I am a graybeard. You see it? It's gray. You lost me at extraction shoot. I'm sorry, but I actually remember Marathon, the OG Marathon. The actual Marathon. So you had me with rekindling of that IP. I was excited to see where they were going to go. Heck, I even like the art style. I think it's cool and got the neon cool thing going. The minute you said extraction shooter, I was like, okay, well, it's not for me. It is what it is.
It's also not Marathon.
It's also not Marathon, obviously. It's just it's Marathon like Prey. The modern Prey is Prey, right?
Yeah.
They took the game and they did something else. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool. Do you? If it's something cool, we'll play it and we'll enjoy it. I hope those who like extraction shooters like this. It's just not for me, right? So wake me up when you say campaign. Then you might have something for me.
I got a funny story about that. They did say I believe they haven't actually started writing the story yet.
There you go. So when the story is secondary I tend to lead with story, and that keeps me there. Hence, that's why I'm such a Halo fan. I always loved the story.
Didn't like the story in Halo?
So,
Bungie.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Go figure.
They fought tooth and nail with Microsoft for trying to like expand the world and do books and stuff, and then rewrote Reach. Like, I don't know. I always found them a little annoying. And I played a lot of Destiny. I really liked it, but this one hasn't grabbed me. I know there's some weird thing. So there's a mix. There are people who are, no matter what Bungie does, it's amazing, and no matter what Bungie does, it's terrible. And they are really fighting it out and making it seem louder than it is. I think a lot of people just don't care that much. They'll wait and they'll see what it's like. But if it's not free to play, they probably won't check it out because nobody has any money.
That's the part. That part right there is the kicker there, right? Like I hope the best for them. They are storied studio, right? Like I don't want to see them go anywhere. This is Bungie we're talking about. Wherever they are now, this is still Bungie. I actually have friends who've worked at Bungie, like in the background infrastructure, all this. Long history there. Great games there. Created one of the greatest IPs that I love in there, right? So I don't want them. Yeah. But the moment that this became crystal clear that it's not free to play, even though it should be, because you're in the extraction genre, that's when I was like, isn't this kind of like Concord 2.0? Like
technically, the extraction genre is led by a game that's $50 at Tarkov, but Tarkov is a very different audience, and this is much more Apex Legends-y extraction. Yes, exactly. Like Tarkov is that super serious, dedicated, crazy. I want to go kill people in real life, but I can't. Military sim side of things.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And this seems to be speaking to the other audience, which has spread its audience base against Apex and the like, right? Valorant and the like. That's what it's trying, at least from my purview. It looks like that's who it's trying to go for. And they will not accept your early payment and then in addition to monetization later. Like I don't know how that will work. So we shall see. I hope this does not become another Concord situation where they have to reverse course. I hope they're able to be dynamic and this thing has some legs, you know. We shall see.
One of the Tamor over at GameSpot was saying it feels like the shooting and everything is great, but every other part was a little underbaked, which isn't great to hear about something that is going to live and die.
6 heroes at launch, 3 maps or something.
Like, these games live and die on repeatability, and if I don't have good carrots on sticks to go after, like if it's only this one mode on, or you know these modes of extraction and the way they got it with the 3v3 up to 18 total people in a match with people in the environment to fight as well, NPCs. The UI looks like a nightmare on a controller. I don't know. I hope it isn't. I hope they've it's snappy enough.
They didn't fix it up after Destiny, and that lived for a plenty long time, right? So
I have played 10,000 hours of Bungie games, probably easily. Like between all the Halos and both Destinies, I've just played the ever-loving shit out of them. And if they hadn't sent us a PR email that gave myself, John, and Nick access, I highly doubt I ever would have played this.
Yeah, I want to give it a go. I like multiplayer games. I like working with my friends. I like competitive multiplayer FPS. I'm certainly happy to jump in and give it a shot. Right. I echo the same sentiments really. And you know.
There's just been so much like consternation and anger around it, and also any pushback turned into, oh my god, everyone's just over the top attacking it. It's like, no, you can not be excited about it, and but you're not shitting on, you're just being honest. But then there were people who were over the top getting mad if you were excited for it. So it's just annoying. Annoying online discourse.
Yeah. Either way, like it's coming and it's Bungie's next thing. So like wishing him the best of luck. Speaking of folks that have thoughts on Marathon, there's a community question here from the lovely It's Finn, who says, good evening and afternoon, John and Jesse, and welcome back, Kay Asante. You filthy and handsome, sir. Don't know why he's got to be handsome and yet somewhat disheveled. I don't know. The air still smells off, but perhaps that's for another day. I feel like there's an in-joke here that we're not aware of. Switch 2 pre-orders are up, and oof, these accessory prices have got me thinking twice about my Joy-Cons and should I get my hands on a Switch 2? And yes, K, Donkey Kong Bonanza rules. To say that there's too many extraction shooters is like saying we need more battle royales and hero shooters, which unfortunately there's a market for it. There's another extraction shooter that folks should keep their eyes on as well. Arc Raiders. Yes, that's right. Arc Raiders is getting its second tech test from Embark. And these are the guys that made the finals, and the finals is pretty great. So as it could be also setting itself to push extraction shooters on consoles further than Tarkov or Hunt Showdown could. Question: could extraction shooters find their place in the general gaming space? Should it become the next big thing? I've seen that argument made about this is Bungie. They could do that for extraction shooters, right? A difficult but interesting question to ponder and think about. And two, we'll do this one in a second. Let's answer that first one. Could extraction shooters find their place if Marathon's big? Is this the one that could make it mainstream? Like I
mean,
Fortnite did.
If anyone could, right? If anybody could do it, it would be Bungie. I mean, like you heard the critique. No matter what they say, one thing they won't say is that the combat's bad. These guys don't know how to make bad combat. So if there is a studio that could thread that needle and make it, as good as say your battle royale, now make an extraction shooter that sets the stage for
genre.
Big, it could be them. Will it be this? Not that I have seen, but when I played, Fortnite Save the World or whatever, back way whenever I played it, and you told me that about that, I would have told you to get out of here with that ridiculousness. So, tomorrow brings changes. We shall see.
One of the big things, and I forgot to put in there, but this comes out the exact same day as Borderlands 4, September 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a hard thing where, like, you're going up against one of the bigger IP in gaming, despite what people might think. Borderlands is enormous.
Yep.
And it's I'm going to play with my buds game in the same way that Marathon is. Like, you can play it solo, but it's always been built around co-op. And they have the marketing on Borderlands, and Borderlands has had its date announced for like months. So it's still really weird to me that they chose the exact same day. Like, not a couple weeks earlier, because like we found out Mafia: The Old Country is leaked for early August. Borderlands is late September. That means pretty much guaranteed if GTA 6 is hitting, it's some point in October or early November, because they're all 2K. So it's like you had that idea where you could slot in. I'm just really curious why the same day.
Yeah, if folks, you've got an established franchise, and look, I know Marathon is a existing franchise.
Now, look at Starfield. Starfield was new. It's not as big as Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be. There's just no way it is, and that's what's going to happen with Destiny 3 would be huge, but Marathon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Borderlands 4 is a big, established, and loved IP. It's had multiple games. There are people that love that gameplay loop, and this one looks excellent. It's a risk. I don't know, man. Yeah. This is Sony's needle and Bungie's needle to thread. Good luck. I'm going to ask Finn. I'm going to ask the second part of your question later on in the show, because it's completely out of place, my friend.
But
you chucked two questions in there.
You can mention the PS though, because I've got it ready to show.
Yeah, there is a PS here that says Reddit Xbox, so r/Xbox is running a giveaway with a custom-made Clear Obscure Expedition 33 console and controller. Feel free to swing by and enter.
Look at that.
Get in there. Links in the chat.
Awesome.
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah. If only people could say anything about if they're reviewing Clear Expedition or not. We'll see.
If only people
we'll see. It comes out on the 24th. Cloud console and PC on Game Pass, as well as PlayStation. PC, it'll be everywhere. So maybe I'll be able to let you know my thoughts on it at some point.
If you happen to be playing it. Sure. Understood.
I'm not playing anything right now. Literally this week, I have only played Crime Scene Cleaner and Kyborg. Kyborg, I can say I have. I can't talk about it. It comes up the 29th.
Yeah. I'm going to merge these two topics, because I'll
merge your two topics.
Yeah, you do that, my friend. You do that. The other thing Xbox did this week was drop one hell of a Game Pass update. 10 games, I think, including, as Abdul wants to point out, Modern Warfare 2. It turns out I was wrong. It was not, as had been advised to me by a trusted source. Maybe they got the wrong end of the stick, and that's what they.
I really thought you said trusted sauce, and I was like, Gaz told you this?
Yeah. We have Towerborne launching April 29th, Expedition 33. We have Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty dropping into Game Pass, Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC as well for the first time, Enhanced Edition, Crime Scene Cleaner, Dredge, which I'm looking forward to trying, Tempopo, Far Cry 4, Anno 1800, SpongeBob SquarePants,
which I caught first as well. That was showing as coming to Game Pass in the Cloud app, play with your own games, Cloud webpage a month and a half ago or something.
Wow. And Neon White, all coming.
Neon
to
White,
Game Pass.
not new. Neon White coming
No.
to standard, as well as Far Cry 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and where else was it? There was one other thing that came to standard, Dredge, that all just went right into standard, which was pretty nuts.
Yeah, but that's one hell of a drop.
Yeah, and
One
GTA
hell
5
of a
on
drop.
PC, you got to have the Rockstar launcher because it is launching essentially that version of the game, but with Xbox presence, aka you show as playing it on the Xbox app and you get achievements, which makes people very happy. Also, it's 2 brand new achievement lists. So you have the legacy version and the new enhanced edition. If you're a maniac and you really want to play through the legacy version first and then import that save over, you probably get, a whole lot of achievements unlocked, but I wouldn't play the legacy version. Enhanced is nice looking.
I bet it is. It's one hell of a drop, though.
It's 3 weeks
but-
of drop, too, because they don't have another one for 3.
Yeah, like some of them go all the way into May. Like Dredge isn't on the service until May the 6th. So bear that in mind, folks. But you can read the full details of everything that's coming and the dates on which they are coming on XboxEra.com. But equally at the same time, Phil Spencer dropped a interview over with Variety talking about all manner of subjects from Minecraft, which has grossed $550 million now in under 2 weeks, which is impressive. I've seen it. Look, I had fun. I had more fun with Minecraft than I did with Sonic movies, as an example. Like, I actually enjoyed and laughed at the Minecraft movie. I think most of it, I like Jack Black, chicken, lava. Like, okay, I'm sold. It was very stupid. My kids loved it. Freaked me out, the fucking people in the cinema thing, clapping and hollering and cheering. It's bizarre. I mean, we just don't do that over here. All right? At the most, we will allow some laughter.
So, quick little anecdote. I happened to be watching the Infinite podcast with Risk It for the Biscuit, and my daughter, my 8-year-old daughter, happened to walk by. She goes, "He looks like Steve." Why? Because she's watched the Minecraft movie, and Risk It for the Biscuit looks like Steve. So there you go. She loved the movie as well. Great movie.
You've seen it, yeah?
Really fun. It's basically Minecraft a la what's the name of that movie? Oh God, he made a bunch of them. He did the wrestling one with Jack Black, Luchador.
Nacho Libre. Yeah, same director.
Nacho Libre. Same director. So they have very tongue-in-cheek, very odd delivery method, but it's just very fun. And I could tell that the whole thing is there for you to be there. You're a person probably of the 80s, and you're there watching it with your children. So we're going to fill you with 80s innuendos, so you have a great time, and your kids will just continue to enjoy Steve. So it worked.
I can't show the movie, but I can show the in-game DLC.
In-game DLC, yes, which my kids played the heck out of for like until it was gone. There was a timed event or whatever in Minecraft. They played the heck out of that stuff. It was great.
Yeah. Did you see the weird clapping and the cheering and whenever the lines? Was it a thing at your viewing?
It was not a thing on my viewing, but I saw a lot of not on my viewing. No,
chicken jockey. Goodness. Chicken jockey.
Yes.
Did people go crazy with the chicken jockey?
I don't get it.
It's a trend that started on TikTok and YouTube Kids or whatever, and it just became like self-fulfilling. Like even in the UK,
there was a guy. There was a studio. There was somebody in the States somewhere who literally brought a live chicken with them to the studio, to the theater, and they kicked them out. Did you see this? It was hilarious. No. I mean, jumping up and down in the middle of the theater, there were chickens like leaving. Like,
oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah. It was bad. Yeah, not my, like it was. I enjoyed it, but whatever. But yeah, Phil did an interview. He talked a little bit about Minecraft and other IPs and blah 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 blah. But the one headline that the majority of outlets
you finally admitted it, John. Finally,
he finally admitted it that it's not sustainable. He was quoted as saying, "Game Plus isn't for everyone."
Yes.
How dare you, Phil? How dare you say something so brave and yet so true? It's like, yeah, of course it's not for everyone.
Yeah, it was like he was talking about if you buy 2 games a year, it's not a service for you. You're only buying 2 games a year.
And it was, if not mistaken, it was in response to a question that basically led down that path. I've heard this criticism as well.
People don't like context. They like clicky headlines. Context can go.
I call them headline debaters. I call. You are dangerous with that soundboard, sir. Dangerous.
You shouldn't have it.
I barely used it.
Shouldn't have it.
This is what the audience thinks whenever you guys say that. Type it in chat if you agree. Okay. Fuck. Let's play it again.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn off.
Yeah, it's an odd one. Like, this isn't news. But yeah, I get it. You know, like as a website that also needs to stay alive, I understand why it became the headline. It was the quote to go and get, even though it, of course, makes perfect sense.
And it's just, he's trying, because it seems to me that everyone's trying to put it in one category or another. Are you trying to sell it, or you're not trying to sell it? What are you trying to do, right? And how could you say this? Because if you're not trying to sell it, then what are you doing here? You should always be trying to sell it. You wouldn't find somebody else saying this.
How dare you?
Which is what they've been offering for Lord knows how long. It's the same thing as saying no console, no problem, right? They said that, and people literally tarred and feathered them in the streets, while the PlayStation Portal just offered no console, no problem, and just nobody said anything about that because they didn't open their mouth and actually say it.
But you do need the console to enjoy the Portal, right?
Not anymore.
No,
they didn't make
not anymore.
Stream, yeah.
They literally have the same like Fire Stick implementation on their portal, right? You can buy a PlayStation subscription and have a portal, and it just works without a console. They just didn't say that, so everyone's like, cool. But because these guys said no console, no problem, tar and feather. Like, I don't know, man. I don't feel the same. Yeah. I don't feel the same. I think it's obvious, optional, right? They want to give you options, and they should be able to tell you that it's an option, right? Maybe something you'll enjoy. Maybe it's something you won't enjoy. For certain people, perfect, but it's not for everybody.
Well, that's the thing as well, and I think they've been out. You know, the average gamer buys 3 or 4 games a year.
No, the average buys 1 or 2. The majority buys 1 or 2. Most buy none and just play free to play. Then it's 1 or 2 at like 90, and then you go down to like 40% are like 3 or 4 in the US. So like people who buy more than say 5 games a year are like 15% of the audience, if that, from memory. I might be wrong.
Everborn says we are the 4%, based on Piscatella's
there's like 10 plus.
analysis. Those of us watching this, those of us who find ourselves buying more than 1 game a month, we are the righteous 4%. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the 4%ers.
By the way,
great.
A quick aside. Britt's in the chat. Britt with an unbelievably generous donation yesterday after the stream. Just want to say thank you, Britt. And if anyone else wants to be like a Brit, you can go. Well, you know, it's not that great for most of the world. It'd be like saying you want to be an American. You can go to PayPal, which is right in the chat, pinned out at the top, and it's our travel GoFundMe fundraiser for the rest of the year, because we're going to travel a lot and it's going to cost a lot of money. So we only can really do it with a little bit of help because we don't have giant corporations behind us like almost every other website.
That's true. That's true. Or we've been in games media for like 30 years and people will just subscribe even though we'll only produce 3 things a week.
Well, you see, your Monday is recording a podcast, and then your Tuesday is publishing it. And then you maybe do 1 or 2 other streams a week and you're good. Bam. 10,000 patrons.
Give me all the money. Big thank
I gotta
you,
tell you, I love your highbrow slander. This is great. Keep going.
And if I'm gonna like not like the Dutch guys on that show who were just absolutely slating everything
on that show. That's right.
Everything I poured my heart into for the past 2 years. We take the high road and don't do personal insults because there's no point. That's mean.
That's right.
Mean.
Highbrow slander. That's right.
That's right. I like it. I'm trademarking that. Elsewhere in news, The Outer Worlds 2 continued its IGN first coverage with an expansive look at its environments this week. If you haven't checked it out over on IGN, go and take a gander. Suffice to say, it looks pretty. I'm intrigued to see more. I really should, before this comes out this year, try and play the Outer Worlds.
You
Spacer's
might have
Choice.
Spacer's Choice Edition on Epic Game Store if you redeemed it for free, like I do.
I never redeemed.
But you at least played
Wow.
the first one, right?
I played it for about 2 hours.
Oh,
John's
was
choice
really
in gaming
good.
is as bad as Nick's. That's
No,
something you're
no,
going to
no,
learn
no,
over
no.
time.
It's not it's like I can look at it and go, this is cool. It's just it's not. I don't have enough time. Like Avowed, I have nearly finished, and it's going to be. Hopefully, I'm going to finish it.
Imagine if you just were playing that instead of going to Blueprints every goddamn night. It's your choice. There is no excuse.
Yeah, well, I like what I like.
But you've already finished
Oh,
Blueprints.
Blueprints is calling his name though.
Yeah,
you gotta beat all the Xbox first party. There's no you. This is the life you have chosen by naming your website XboxEra.
different strokes for different folks. You know, like
Uh-huh.
that's why we've got a broad and varied team.
Question
Imagine if we all played
in
the same
Twitch
stuff.
chat. All cats go to purgatory asking, starting to realize that. What games does John actually like? I put the actual.
I like loads of games. Like, hey, look, it's. I would just say to you, if it's an RPG or an open world, it's probably I'm probably going to bounce off it, or I'm probably going to run out of time and not be able to do it. And it's not that the game's bad; it's just that, and Jesse can attest to this a bit, right? Except that he's a weird half man, half machine that can play all games, chameleon
Just not
type
lazy.
person. I have a very busy life and there's a lot going on a lot of the time. And open world games that demand hours and hours of my time are less likely to get a look in than short, smart, interesting experiences. So I predominantly like a lot of indie games, but I do like story-driven games. I like action games. I like certain, other genres. I don't know. Like it's.
You sound like you like games that respect your time.
Yeah, but then I fall in love with games that don't. Like Sea of Thieves is probably my game of the entire generation last year. It did not respect my time. It regularly told me to go and fuck myself, and yet I have like 1,000 hours in that fucking game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it is. And I normally tackle a lot of the multiplayer stuff because I have a lot of people that I play multiplayer games with, so lots of co-op and competitive. I like a lot of games. I just don't. I don't typically trend towards a lot of AAA games. Is probably the best thing I can say.
Understood.
And I mostly find that AAA games, because they are often designed by committee to a certain degree, and I don't mean that in a completely bad way, in that they are designed to appeal to as broad a group of people as possible.
They're trying to be as full quadrant as possible.
Yeah,
yes.
I find that they are therefore less interesting to me personally. I like little, interesting, smart, clever, new things. That is just my forte. That's just what I like.
Speaking of something that's smart and clever but isn't new, I just noticed that Nintendo has put in this brand new feature in their open world racer. They're calling it Rewind. And if you hit something, then you can rewind and go backwards.
You mean Mario Forza Horizon?
See, he missed. And so oh shit, it's rewinding. And now he's going back to where he was on the... Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah. It's Mario Forza Horizon. It's the most amazing thing I ever. And it's so
how come
amazing.
no one ever thought of this before?
It's so amazing. It deserves to cost $80.
Yeah, they've got new open world quests as well. You can go do quests in the open world. Wow, man, this game is brilliant.
Speaking of the Switch 2, like I won't lie, like from a pure mess around with my mates, have fun, I would quite happily play Mario Kart World. I would not quite happily drop the amount of money that they're asking me to drop for the privilege of doing so. But the Switch 2 has obviously been in the news a lot over the last couple of weeks. We had the Switch 2's Mario Kart World Direct for 15 minutes. They turned the chat off. You know why they turned
was it off in the US, but on in the UK, I think. And you could see why in the UK.
Yeah, lots of drop the price were still being chanted. They have or had delayed pre-orders in the US and Canada. I believe they have now said that pre-orders will go live on the 24th of April in both regions.
At the same price for the hardware.
Good news. Same price for the hardware. But there's a small caveat. Accessories are going up. Sorry, everybody. They're raising the prices for a bunch of stuff.
And they were already really overpriced.
Yeah. Have we got that price list? I mean,
it might be. Oh, I thought I put the link there, but
I saw
Christ, pretty much it was like $5 on the goddamn Joy-Con 2s, which are now $95 for a pair. I believe it's $85 for the Switch 2 Pro controller. The dock is up to like $120. The dock bundle, I don't understand how that dock was already $110. So yeah. Also, amiibos are up $10. The new amiibos are either 30 or 40 instead of 20 or 30. They are also like twice the size. So 3 cents more plastic, maybe. This has been the worst console unveil I've ever seen. They have one launch game. Sorry, 2. One of them is a manual and guide with mini games in it. That's $10.
Wait, isn't
they're charging you for
the Dragon Drive game launch?
Like their games, I mean, though. Like their made and published games.
Oh.
Yeah, because Donkey Kong's a month and a half after launch. Metroid Prime has no date. Kirby Air Riders has no date.
Windows.
Yeah. So, like,
do you know what?
It's just, man.
Do you know what? I feel like we need to hear from the community on this. And don't worry, because we've got a good long-term member of the Patreon community here with some thoughts about Nintendo. It's a question from Hyphen G. Kay, you didn't join in. Like, normally Nick joins in, you know, like, where were you?
He has dignity.
I speak Dutch, so I can go the really no. Keep going.
I was thinking of just doing this when John started.
In the chat, Brit, don't do it. Hythem G says, so to circle around Nintendo, if that company refuses to go third party and would rather be shut down, hold up there, Hythem. What if Microsoft bought Nintendo? That is, if they keep going into a bad direction with the Switch 2 and such, but your gents scenario to take on that.
They're going to make billions. You go look at websites that are really into Switch, and they've got like 900 stories, and they're extremely excited. Like people are gonna buy all this shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, Nintendo fans are a special group of folks that know about the things that Nintendo do that suck, but will never ever punish them with their wallet. They, they will just be like, okay, it's the best. Oh, it's Mario, and that's it. That's their lives. Now, I jest. Like, look, Nintendo make fantastic games. They're going to be fine. It's expensive. Do I think the Switch 2 is going to be as successful as the Switch 1? No.
Absolutely.
That's
agree.
about it. Fun fact, Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo. It never happened.
And they laughed him out the room or whatever. I heard, yeah.
I mean, and there is an argument that could be made that the minute Nintendo games were releasing on other devices or a PC, it would be fantastic. Like, would I love to play Super Smash Brothers at like 4K, 120 frames per second? Yes, I would.
Have you talked to Nick? This is going to be the most powerful handheld on the planet by far. He's been promised. Like, this thing's above a PS4 Pro. It's breaking the laws of physics. It's so amazing. Also, in the news is the fact that it seems like it's not going to actually support VRR when docked because they cheaped out on the HDMI port.
Yep, it doesn't do 2.1.
I saw they removed the VRR reference
across every country, not just like on one. It was like every country had that.
So it does have VRR on the display.
Yeah.
So on the display, you're good. But when you plug it into your device, when
you plug it in, which is the place you'd probably actually try and push 120 hertz, because you're going to kill the battery.
You're pushing.
The higher the frame rate, the more the battery's going to die. Like when you're in handheld mode, you normally push for like 45 FPS is like the gold standard for a Steam Deck game because it's a 90 hertz.
What are they thinking?
Everything about this feels unbelievably rushed, and it makes no sense because it was also delayed. Like, it's really weird. It's just
bizarre. It's so strange to me. But we've got Assassin swooping in with a $10 super chat. It says, trading my Switch OLED saves me $175 dues, and my GameStop is offering transfer saves to my Switch too. Also doing a midnight launch. I do miss those. Still not happy about Mario Kart World being $80, but Donkey Kong Bonanza looks worth $70.
It's 12 gigs. I wonder how much there is to that game.
Like, at the end of the day, who am I to tell anybody what to do with their money, their recreational time? Don't listen to me. You do what you want to do.
Oh, yeah, I've never said don't buy it if you really want it. It's just more poking fun at the industry that will hand wave away a horrendous launch just because they're super excited because they grew up on the platform.
My only bit of pitchfork in this whole conversation, the hardware I think is appropriate based on where they are as far as pricing and all of that. If you look at it, it's right in line. Hardware is fine. It's more than you want to spend, no doubt, but it's in line. The accessories are ridiculous. Don't even bother with the webcam. Go get your own. Any webcam will work. Don't even bother. Just get your own. And you didn't want that one anyway. That webcam looks like it comes out of an Android phone you would not throw at your worst enemy. So don't even worry about that. Get your own. No big deal. So that's fine. Like where I have my bit of my pitchfork is you guys, Nintendo, has been better than all the others as far as budgeting, setting standards, creativity leading, and really, really keeping things in check, right? You are the gold standard to the point where when Microsoft is acting up a little bit or when Sony's acting up, we're like, you could learn something from Nintendo because they keep things in check.
Nintendo gold seal of approval.
Well, not necessarily even quality, because they do have that as well, but more in they keep budgets in check, they keep pricing in check, they make sure that they make a profit from their hardware, even though it doesn't work necessarily in favor of the consumer per se, but they have all of these things in check. So with that in mind, for you, Nintendo, to be like, yeah, we gonna roll this up here and make you pay $80 for and this is just me completely speculating, so forgive me, but I would consider a Nintendo AAA game a AA game by any other studio standards because they are good at keeping their costs low. So who are you to tell me I need to pay $80 for that stuff that you have already really well tuned, right? If Microsoft were to say that to me, although I'd hate it, I could maybe find some way because ballooning costs and you want to see your face in the puddle, right? All that, right? The PlayStation, all of that. They could justify that. But you, Nintendo, of all people, who've been so well at keeping costs down, keeping creativity high, you're coming to me with variable pricing. You're the worst the worst messenger in this equation.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
That's all.
I will probably end up picking up a Switch too, but I'm not rushing out the door to get one at launch. Vote with your wallet. Do what you want to do. Play the games you want. Like that's always been my mantra. Play great video games and have fun. That's why we play video games. Cost really is in the eye of the person with the money. If you've got the cash for it, who gives some monkeys? I agree with you in that
it sets a bad standard, man.
It would be nice to see this industry and this industry is unique. Like when people talk about the relationship between media, PR companies, game developers, everyone that covers games loves video games, right? That's why they are doing it, unless they're just doing it to puddle hop to working in a studio, which a lot of them admittedly in games media do. So that's very different to someone reporting the news. They don't love all the news. Do you know what I mean? The relationship is different. We have a relationship with the products we're consuming in a different way. And that's the one unique thing about working in games media. But if we're gonna say that here's the standards of things that we should expect from these companies, it would be nice to see everybody hold everyone to those exact standards instead of but I really like those guys. Do you know what I mean? It's just being able to talk about it in a fair and open way. But,
so for the youngins in the room who didn't understand his graybeard take just there, it was keep the same energy. That's what it was. That was what it is. That's exactly what it is. I agree so hard.
We say it all the time.
I'm just like, come on, guys.
if you properly critique one, please critique the others. Not that you shouldn't critique any of them, which is the way the console warriors take it.
Yep.
But hey, there you go. And look, Nintendo weren't the only ones that snuck some price rising in this week. PlayStation raised hardware prices for the second time in a generation in Europe, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Yeah, I mean, what is there to say? What is there to say?
They did lower the disk drive you can't find in stock.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, Sony. I mean, and you know, this led to, and I'm curious, Kay, your thoughts. This was a conversation we had last week a little bit. Value isn't sexy, but Game Pass is the most value you can get for your bang for your buck on games consumption nowadays. But yet Microsoft are intent perhaps to market all of us as rats. Don't get me wrong, I really loved that ad. Like, all of us are rats. Escape the rat race, play some video games. And they just say, play it day one on Game Pass, and that's it. Like, when are we going to get to the point? And do you think Microsoft should make more of a song and dance to the average consumer about the value that the money that they can save?
Bill told us.
Yeah, okay.
So honestly, I think that's always been their criticism. Like, that's always been the most valid of critique, right? They have what they have and they never share what they have. There's many instances where you could just be singing from the rooftops how great this is. And more often than not, it ends up being someone else that sings from the rooftop how great your service is because they discover how great your service is as compared, right? It happened the same thing during last gen or the beginning of this gen when people were like, oh, what did Play Anywhere mean anyway? Or like a cross gen, like, you know,
smart delivery.
You buy one, you smart delivery, exactly, right? And it took until Square had to show you the one diagram page and the 15-page thing on the other side for everybody to go, oh, I guess, where was Microsoft going? Hey, you see, this is how this.
Yeah.
Valid, absolutely valid. Absolutely valid. Yeah. Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
it is what it is.
Microsoft,
you know.
sort your
You know what kind of gets me about the game industry? WWE is
Yeah.
an awful company, and they are all just tweeting about it all night tonight. And like, man, if you want to stand up against shitty companies, do not support WWE.
It's always where the bread is buttered, sir.
Like,
always
man,
where the bread is buttered.
A horrible, allegedly,
Separate
supposedly a
art
horrible
from artist
company.
or something. I don't know. Last but not least, last little thing I'll mention before we tackle some game show shenanigans with Jesse's new voice box of tricks and the remaining couple of community questions. Sea of Thieves is coming to Battle.net in another move. Play Anywhere, Battle.net getting more of these Xbox first party games. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's nice to see, but
so.
like, I think Jesse pointed it out. Like, Battle.net at some point, if they're going to keep adding loads, because it's only had very few games on it, it's just a drop down and you can see every game. Like, if it gets long, that's a long drop down list. You know what I mean?
And this is why when they initially did this whole, they bought all these, we all speculated which one will lead, which one is going to be the one that, and people kept going, well, Battle.net seems to be the one everyone loves. If you used it long enough, there's people who hate it. And the reason why well, at least I heard that they weren't going to use Battle.net specifically is because it works best when games are allowed to have room to breathe. There's not that huge a library. So why are they feeding it now? Like, it's an odd thing, right? Because eventually one of them has to lead and the others have to be depreciated. Are they saying that Battle.net is the one that's going to lead now? I doubt that.
You know what this is? This is the little Trojan horse because you get full Play Anywhere cross-buy and Game Pass access.
True.
So this lets all the people in Battle.net that just play WoW and Call of Duty and shit and never touch anything
all of a sudden,
else.
Damn, they have access to all these others.
You're essentially you're marketing to your customers who don't know about your other PC store.
That's gotta be
it. It is an interesting move. Yeah, it is interesting. I wonder what they will do to one day consolidate them. Oh yeah, true.
Because you can sideload Battle.net on a Steam Deck. You cannot sideload the Microsoft store.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. There it is.
And they said
that's about
more curated Xbox titles will be arriving. So it's not going to be everything. I think big games like Doom's going in there, Outer Worlds is going in there. Like their big new releases will go in there, but they're not just going to hodgepodge show, throw everything in there. The Tony Hawk will probably be in there. I think guaranteed it's Activision. So
yeah. All right. Well, okay, now the pressure is on, my friend, because once again, it's time to unwind a little bit, have some fun with the community in tow, and play a little bit of Name a Game.
Okay. Let's open Discord. Let's see.
Here it is, and I can just hit this.
Look, we can music. It's fun times. As always, XboxEra, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we've had our spring subathon running. By the way, another whopping £50 donation has come in. I will say it's from Jacques D. Big thank you, my friend, for donating to our travel fund. The link is in the top of the chat if you're feeling generous. If not, and you just want to support XboxEra in the best way possible, head to patreon.com/XboxEra. The reason I say that is because one of the perks of being an XboxEra patron is every week we do battle on your behalf in a duel to the death. No, we just try and name video games.
And I mean,
silly
Nick's still
things.
alive, sadly.
Yeah, he is. But we try and win people game codes. So Nick or myself will act as a champion for you, and we'll win you a game code in a little bit of a face-off. Nick's not here this week, so you might be in for a chance if you're being played for by Asante, which is Bogdan.
Probably not.
I am playing for Gareth Normal, not Gareth Strange or Gareth Weird. Gareth Normal. He's normal. I'm playing for him. But yeah, if you want to be in for a chance for us to win a game code from Jesse's big hairy sack of game codes, head to patreon.com/XboxEra. All right. I'm going to put in my code because all the buzzers and everything are going to work and all of that stuff. Ain't life grand? Jesse, what's the theme this week?
The theme this week, John, is one company called Bethesda.
Okay.
Bethesda games.
All Bethesda games. Okay.
Bethesda published titles, gentlemen.
Okay. All right.
Number one.
Let's go.
As we are ready on the buzzer, we got the scoreboard going. Everything's here.
Yep.
What would I be saying to you if I gave you this word that is... There it is. Jesus Christ, couldn't find it for a second. Property partnerless.
Hold on.
Starting with a tough one.
Property partnerless.
Yep. This was a licensed IP video game. They worked on quite a few early on in their existence.
Property partnerless.
Partnerless. Okay. So I think I have an idea for the second word. I don't know if I know this franchise. Is it a franchise?
Yeah. Franchise of shitty movies. Okay, the first 1 and 2 were okay. After that, not very good.
Oh, okay.
What?
Hey, Gentlestone in the chat's got it.
Property partnerless. So home, single.
Series of movies that start with the word home. What could that be?
Okay, that's the clue that gave it to me. They made a game of Home Alone?
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Seriously? I did not know that at all.
Damn it. I
That's
got
ridiculous.
Stupid music. Yep. They made a Home Alone game.
That's
Who knew?
ridiculous.
Not me.
Hey.
All right. 1-0. John Mechanico.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's reset.
All right. Gentlemen, what would come to your mind if I was to say the words Buccaneers of the West Indies?
Buccaneers of the West Indies.
Correct. That is what I said.
I'm gonna No way.
Okay, Asante.
Buccaneers of the West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Correct.
What?
That's literally what I was going to buzz. But
Yep.
what the fuck?
They made a Pirates of the Caribbean game, baby.
I did not know this. What?
Oh, wait. Correct.
Seriously?
Yep.
Well, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I did not know they had a game.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a bad game, most likely.
Most likely.
Or am I wrong?
I have no idea if the game was any good or not.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen.
Okay.
Your next hint as to what the game may be is Montebank Combatant. There, for people in chat to see. Christ, I can't give it to you in an easy way in here.
Can you spell that?
I'm gonna load up StreamYard. I'm gonna stop playing the music through the through this so that I can have the ding be a little louder. Give me a mo. Montebank.
Montebank?
Montebank.
As in M-O-N-T-E?
Montebank.
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 What's the second word?
There you go.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I had to join this on this other thing.
Montebank Combat.
Hey, knock. I don't even know what Montebank means. That may be my problem.
All right. I'm going to look something up and I'll let you know.
Okay. Okay. Montebank Combatant.
A mountebank is a person who pretends to be someone or something they are not, or who tries to trick people, especially in order to get their money.
That didn't help.
It works like charlatan.
I mean, I don't. This isn't ringing any bells for me, okay? This is not ringing any bells for me, I think.
Well, now you're getting it. So the crowd's spoken. It is Rogue Warrior.
Oh, Rogue Warrior. But, yeah, okay. Rogue Warrior? Montebank Combatant.
Yep.
Okay, I can see that. I
Thank
can
you.
see that. All right.
It does work.
It's a rogue. Okay.
Just, you know.
Oh, it does work. It just makes me feel foolish. Continue.
Gentlemen. The Dishonorable Inside. Sick Mechanico.
The Evil Within.
Nah.
Correct.
Yes.
Got too much reverb on me now. I sound a little over the top.
Strong lead. Strong lead.
Okay. Which one for a potential win?
Come on, Kay. Don't let Bogdan down.
Or do it.
Trying, man.
Gentlemen,
Come on, Kay.
your next hint is Powerful Disaster.
Fuck.
What?
Powerful
Disaster.
Powerful disaster.
Man. Is this old?
I can't look it up.
No, we're not allowed to look it up. Is this old or
I
new?
look it up. Okay.
This is the only hint you'll get.
Which is? Wait, him looking on his phone? Is that the hint?
Powerful disaster. So, come on, let's strategize here, okay? Powerful disaster. Trying to think of their franchises. Powerful disaster. Like,
I know in the chat got this either.
That makes I'm trying to find IPs that would.
are you telling us it's a mobile game?
Timer's going. You got 9, 8.
Oh, come on.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Mighty Doom. It was so easy. That's why I'm annoyed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was an easy one that we should have.
Yeah. We should have gotten that one.
We should have got it.
One. Yeah, that's
So
for
bad.
sure. That's true. Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Didn't get that. Okay.
the Firstborn Documents, Alcazars. John.
The Elder Scrolls.
Starting the timer. 9.
What was the last word? Because you've not. it's not in the
Alcazars.
chat. Alcazars.
3,
Alcazars.
2, 1.
Morrowind. I don't know.
For the steal, K. Asante.
The Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
The Elder Scrolls Castles.
Oh no.
Castles.
It's a Spanish word for castles.
This is terrible. Terrible.
Come
All
on,
right.
I'm
I guess I'll give you really one word. See if you can get this one. That word being the word dupe. D-U-P-E.
Dupe.
D-U-P-E.
Oh my god, I know the name of the game. I just can't think of it right now. Oh my god, what's the name of that?
Okay,
game?
dupe is to trick, to fool,
Yeah.
to hoodwink, to.
First time caller here. How are these two guys getting all this wrong? These have been so easy so far. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna hang up now.
Shut up, man.
Man, are you assuming? Mother, that is not allowed no more. All right, I'm gonna hang up for real this time.
You're messing with me. Stop it.
Dupe.
Fucking starting the timer again. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. John.
Don't know it. Don't know it. I don't know it.
What is it?
I also don't know. Did they publish Thief? I don't
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Like,
Prey. You're dupe.
Huh?
You are prey. You're dupe. It is a direct.
Oh, yeah. You are a target.
Yep.
Yeah, prey.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking yep.
And I even mentioned that today too before we even start.
Although, no, yeah, that is correct. Okay.
Yeah, no, it
I
works.
did mention that today.
Gentlemen, we've only got a couple left. You better get at
We are
least
terrible.
1 or 2 of these.
Keep going.
The Eradicator.
The Eradicator.
I'm trying to buzz it, but I can't.
John.
Is it the Terminator?
No.
It is the Terminator.
Hey!
They made a
They
Terminator
made
game.
the Terminator as well.
They did publish a Terminator game. I think they did several. I think they did a Skynet game.
Yep, they did a
and
Skynet game.
Terminator 2020 something, like future Terminator game. So I was hoping it would come up.
This tells you what I know.
Gentlemen,
don't
for
play any
funsies, we got a
Bethesda
couple left.
IPs. Yes. Uh-huh.
The one word is moist.
I only play the
Moist.
first party one. Moist?
John.
Oh, what's the other one?
Wet.
No, yeah, no. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
All right,
I that one. I remember that one.
I got one more. This was the hardest one. It was just going to be if you were both at 2, this was going to go up and be there for 10 minutes, and everyone sits here getting mad. Divination and mischief. The mastery of incantation.
Divination in
Divination
mischief.
and mischief. The
Hey, I'm back on the line,
mastery
boys. I'm gonna give you a little hint on this one. I saw when Jesse was putting it together. The first and the last words of this one are the same word. How's that? You like my hint? Just a hint.
Oh god.
Can you put it in the chat so I can stare at it for a minute?
Yeah, the words, yes.
Divination and okay. I think I've got this. This is. I'm gonna buzz because I want my funsies point. This is gonna be might and magic, and I just need to figure out the rest. Might and magic.
I missed it.
Might and magic. The art of magic. That's what it's gonna be.
The master of incantation. No. Nope.
Oh,
No.
fuck! It's bollocks! It's magic and mayhem.
Is it Magic and Mayhem?
Yeah, it's not might and magic. I'm sorry.
Oh, the
Magic
mist-
and mayhem. The art
Obviously.
of magic.
This-
Fuck.
Yes.
Getting that one
Might
wrong
and
and then
magic.
still saying it anyway gives K
Let's
3 points, and he
stop.
wins 4-3.
No,
Way to go, K.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No. I cannot. I have not earned that win. Stop it.
Congratulations to Gareth Normal, who has won a game code from Jesse's
There you
big
go.
purple sack of game codes.
Why is it purple?
Purple and
It gets
hairy.
weirder every time.
Yeah. It's bulging, one
Okay.
might say, full
Ah.
of game codes.
Wow.
It's ripe. It's ready to burst. It's ready to explode with game codes all over
Game
the
codes.
place. Gareth, reach out to us on Discord, discord.gg/XboxEra or the Xbox Era forums, so Jesse can present a list of game codes from which you can pick one. Fun times.
We want some like community questions music because it's really boring without it.
Yeah, can we have like can we do that smooth piano because it's fun? Yeah, that one. Love it. And as we round things off here on the Xbox Era podcast, we'd like to thank you for tuning in with us. We're going to hear now from a few of our community who have written in to let us know how they feel. And I'm gonna get up close to the mic now because I want you to feel the love.
All right.
I'm gonna tongue fuck my mind now, baby.
All right, you hep cats and hip kitties. First of all, let's finish off the question from It's Finn. He had a question about food, and he wanted to know, what's the worst food you've ever tasted and you swore to never eat again?
I was sick. I was very, very young. Rabbit.
Really? Rabbit?
I was very young. So
like it.
African.
Never gonna eat
lived
it
in
again.
African, lived in many countries. I've had lots of weird stuff. I've had Indiana Jones's chilled monkey brains. I've had that. But what made me gross out? Rabbit, for some reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rabbit. I've had Rocky Mountain oysters. For those who don't know what that, who knows what that is?
Bull
I
balls.
don't know what that is.
Yes, bull balls.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
You're a
But
man of many
rabbit weirded
flavors.
me out. Yes.
Worst food I've ever eaten. I know the one. My ex-wife was going through a let's eat healthy binge and made a vegetable lasagna, and it had these giant fucking green beans in and no sauce, and the pasta was undercooked. And she had her daughter, so not my kid, my stepdaughter at the time. This is going back a number of years. This is like 2011, 2010, something like that. And she was only like 3. And she was sitting at a little table and she was enjoying it as much as I was. We were not enjoying it. And I remember her looking at me and her mum was going mental at her, like, you got to eat. And I was just like, she looked at me with eyes begging me, like, this is the worst thing I've ever eaten. And I just tried to step back. I know, and I will help where I can. I remember when her mum had her back turned, I was just like, I just took some off her plate. I was like, oh, well done, kiddo. You did really good. Yum. And we just plugged it. And she just let that happen. It was great. But that was definitely one of the worst things I've ever eaten in my life. Fuck me. What about you, Jesse?
That
What's the worst
sounds
thing
like-
you've ever eaten?
Sounds like a sitcom I wanted to watch. That's
It was bad,
hilarious.
man.
Unbelievably highly processed bread from Walmart.
Oh,
That
bread.
Normally the bread's fine, but when it's that processed, you can't tell that it's moldy. And I had a full bite before I realized, and I looked at it and I went,
Oh.
I didn't puke or anything, but I was like, oh, that sucks.
That would freak me out. Yeah.
But it was so processed
Yummy.
that it just tasted the exact same.
Yummy. All right. Thanks, Finn, for that question.
People want this music really bad, so. There's no rumor mill. They were just yelling for it in chat, so we'll let it play.
All right. Fine. I don't like to indulge bad rumor mills. I don't know if anyone saw, but a certain developer was like, what? To a certain rumor mill. Some random questions now from our friends in the Patreon community. From first time community question asker, Parksy1972 says, hey guys, I'm a long time listener, but until recently, I wasn't in a position to support you financially. We're very glad to have you, Parksy. Thank you so much. Anyway, I thought I'd finally get around to asking you my first question. What game have you really looked forward to playing, and when you finally get to play it, feel really let down? For me, it was God of War 2018. I'd not had a PlayStation since the PS1 days, so in December of 2021, when I decided to get a PS5, the first game I played was God of War 2018. I played it for around 10 hours, and I couldn't bring myself to finish it. How the hell did this beat Red Dead Redemption 2 for Game of the Year? Anyway, keep up the great work. That's a really good question. So a game that you like, I really want to play this, and I don't like it.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Recent memory? Okay.
Recent memory.
Okay. Recent memory or spoken?
Oh, okay.
I gave
You
that
like
a
the
5,
look of
didn't I?
I like the look of it. I heard all the slander about it, and the slander was true, but what really disappointed me was just the world itself was boring. Like it was good, but then you go to another world and they just changed the color of the sky and call it a different world, but it's literally the same place.
Yep. I give it a 5.
Just like, they could have done better.
If
like
the
that
combat were the spells at the very end, cool. It gets some bonkers cool magic at the end.
Yeah,
but to
the
get to
traversal's
that,
cool. The combat's cool, but
the story.
Yeah,
there has never been a game that has, like, I was streaming when I was starting to review this because it was on the Microsoft Store on PC.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The amount of fades to black every time you walk for another conversation, like the first 5 hours of the game, horrendous. I probably had it fade to black like 300 times. At the start of every conversation, at the end of every conversation, fade to black, fade to black, fade to black, and God, it was infuriating.
And honestly, the reason I was excited for it in the first place was because this was Microsoft's first push for direct storage. This was the first game that was going to use direct storage, which was going to like speed up the process a la fast consoles, and it actually did do that. Like, if you really like checked it, it did do that. But all the bugs and it was very disappointing. So there's that.
It was a technically and artistically bankrupt title.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. If I, off the top of my head, and I'm literally scrolling through my entire everything I've ever played in time order at the moment, and I'm trying to, like, no game is speaking out to me. The closest I can think of is probably, and it wasn't that I didn't like it, it's just that I was like, this is a piss take, and I understand why now. I know the story behind it, but Crackdown 2.
Yeah,
I was like,
I agree with that.
Are you kidding me, guys? And then you find out that what they did manage to release was like made in 6 fucking months, and you're kind of like, okay, all right.
You know what else? Halo 2's campaign.
Yeah. Halo 2's campaign is a great shout. I remember doing System Link and playing through
still,
that
like,
over a night.
some of the decisions they made, like the fucking legendary decision they made on the difficulties. I'm sorry, the fucking legendary decision they made on the difficulty. Like, it just made it no fun. It was no fun to just always get thrown all the way back. And then it didn't have a proper ending and all that type of stuff. Like, it wasn't. If I go back, I can enjoy Halo 1. I can enjoy Halo 3. I can enjoy even ODST, which I was never a big fan of just because some of the voice acting. I can really enjoy Reach. I have a struggle with 2, even though it's the one they friggin' remade for Master Chief Collection. It's really good looking.
Yeah.
The only other one I can think of in recent memory was Wanted Dead. Fuck that game.
Oh yeah. I wanted to love that game so much too, and I was just like, is it really that bad? And he's just like,
like there was a little sprinkling of something that could have been really fleshed out, and it's why
it looked cool. It looked cool.
It looked cool, and it just made some of the most batshit crazy decisions. But then I look at something like the upcoming, I think it's called Spine. Yes, Spine. Yes. And I'm like, okay, you've taken that kind of sword gun combat. Maybe that's where the fix. I don't know. Yeah. We've seen more of that recently with the.
It doesn't look anywhere near as good as it did at its reveal.
At the beginning, yes.
But yeah, great question for a first question from Parksy 1972. Solid work there.
Awesome question. Yeah.
Finishing off with the last 2 community questions before we wrap it up for the night. Make sure you do. 3, sorry, I lumped one into 2 images here.
Yeah, so it makes it really hard to actually show this on screen correctly.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't know you'd show the image. My bad. 99 Rukin says, yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. I can't say the full words and running out of another way to say hello. You can say the full words. You can swear. It's okay. We're all grown up.
Go on, say it right now.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
It still comes through. I can't. It's not louder than you.
You can't stop it.
I'd have to mute you and do it. I'm not that good.
For Ready or Not to come to Xbox, and hopefully 6 Days in Fallujah comes soon. My question, what PC game do you want to come to Xbox? Not PlayStation or Nintendo games. So a PC only title, only available on PC. When is it coming to PlayStation or Xbox? What do you want? What do you want it to be?
Man, there's a lot to think about.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
Tiny Glade. I really love that game on Steam. I should have played some during the subathon. That's my go-to chill-out game.
You put a lot of people to sleep with Blueprints, so it's fine.
Yeah, you leave Blueprints alone. It's a really neat little build cool dioramas game. It's just pure artistic clicking and fun. I'd love to see that.
I'd love to see Half-Life Alyx just because it would mean I could use my VR headset even more.
Yeah.
There you go.
They never do it.
But yeah, can't think.
So if we're gonna speak on indies, since you said Tiny Glade, I'll say Fading Afternoon. Love that game. Fading Afternoon is freaking awesome. More people should play it. Fading Afternoon. It's now on Switch. That game is genius wrapped in a 2D package. It is so good. Oh, I love that game. And I was a one-man band for that game for a long time. I love that game. More people should play it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. There's so many systems in this game. So many damn systems.
Oh
in
my
this
god! Okay, this looks wicked.
So many systems in this one little game that looks like Bad Dudes or whatever. It's so good.
All right. I'll check it out.
I have one, and hopefully they'll do it eventually because this plays all right on a controller. Just ignore the Goomba on the top right here. Called Half Sword. Also, he's got a nude mod on. What a douche. So, Half Sword is like a physics fighting game. It's just got a free demo right now. Super gory, as you can see with this guy getting cleaved in half. I played it on the last subathon, not this one. Just an amazingly fun, crazy, over-the-top combat game that they're building into a roguelike, essentially. So you're finding gear. It's got that weird, like, your hands don't work the way you would think they do physics. But it's super satisfying when you do hit someone or, like, you chop their freaking leg off like he did just there. Chop their head off. Like, super gory and over the top. You can lower that if you want your kids to play it or something. And then you're just killing for fun. But yeah, this Half Sword is amazing. And it's free. It's just a demo
like Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
It's like Goat Simulator, but with people.
Yeah, and you get, as you go through, there's just more and more, like, progressively over the top. The gear and stuff you can get starts to become like full plate armor. And so it's super technical, even though it is one of those like goofy type of games.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Looks like it'd be awesome in VR.
It's built to be hard to control. So if it was VR, you could just do this and
it'd be
win.
easy. It'd be easy. Yeah,
windmill it up. Good choice.
True.
Good choice.
That's good.
Okay. Then next question from good old Collingwood, who says, Happy Easter, John K. and Jesse. Wants to talk a little bit about Nick's new room. The reason Nick isn't here this week, says good old Collingwood, is because I've tied him up and gagged him so you can have your way on his new streaming room. How would you decorate Nick's streaming area?
How would we decorate tying Nick up and gagging him and you say dick immediately? Come down. You know, little sus, John.
Myself. I like what I like. How would you decorate Nick's room if you were going to be
nothing but Nintendo?
I'll put PlayStation everywhere.
I would put screens all over his walls that have games that are playing that he can't pause cutscenes from. They would just be playing, like just playing constantly, just everywhere, and he can't pause them because he has to watch them. Everywhere would be just a screen with story.
Do you know what? Actually, I wouldn't worry too much. I would decorate the room with a PC that can play stuff, so that he can actually do that. And I would somehow...
And he would use that PC to play Fortnite and Rocket League at higher frame rates.
All you have to do is just block Fortnite and Rocket League from being playable on that machine.
Yeah. Man. Oh dear. Bless him. He'll
Last
be back
question.
next week with his new
With a
stuff.
new look.
And yes, indeed.
First time in podcast history, Nick is going to have a new look behind him.
Yeah, he's very excited.
Ooh.
He's going all out as well.
Jordy
He's got
Jensen would
plans.
put up Peter North posters. I would put up Matt Ramsey posters.
Oh,
Greek
man.
flags everywhere. Last question from Jesse Brother to close out the show. And of course, it's about an important topic that's all near and dear to our hearts. And that is politics. No, I'm joking. It's about ham and stealth. Happy podcast 259, my little Easter bunnies, says Jesse Brother. Easter was never a holiday I had much respect for, mainly because I'm an atheist, but also because I never liked the usual main course around here, which is a baked ham. Is this right?
Yeah, you have ham in America on Easter Sunday.
So ham is what we would call a gammon, yes?
Mm.
Big hunk of pork, no boner in it or anything.
there's a
Sometimes
bone.
there's bone in it.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay,
bone
yeah,
in
we
the-
don't
in the
normally
steak.
have a bone in there, but like you can slice nice thin layers of
Basically through it.
gammon.
That's right.
Some people bake them, some people boil them.
Isn't that the guy Zelda Link fights?
Yeah, Ganon.
Ganondorf, no, gammon. Brits will know what I'm talking about, but
We
yes,
mainly have honey baked ham, which is very good when you know how to make it.
Yeah, we do like if I was doing a gammon, I normally boil it, and it's with bay leaves and cloves. My missus does a parboil and then finishes it with like a honey glaze. It's very nice.
We don't
It's like
boil.
a nice
we
smoky
we
glaze.
bake.
Yeah, we bake. We don't boil.
It's
Wrapped in
only
aluminum.
gammon.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
we don't
yeah.
we don't put the I in there. It is just
I know,
at the end.
You just changed the word. But yeah, Jesse's
It's
brother
fine.
doesn't like ham.
We can call it what is it?
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Aluminium, and then
Aluminium.
we'll go to our laboratory. Either way, it's fine.
Laboratory. Laboratory. Go to the laboratory.
Indeed, yes.
Anyways, he didn't like ham, but then he stayed with his sister, and her husband made a baked ham. And to be nice to him, I tried it, and oh no, I really fucking liked it.
Yeah.
Another thing I never
go.
respected or enjoyed was stealth in video games, which is why I was always so adverse to the Assassin's Creed series, as they forced it upon you most of the time. I have to say, now that I've completed South of Midnight, I've returned to the world of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I'm in Naoe's levels, and she's heavy on stealth, and I'm actually really enjoying that shit. So my question this week is for Jesse. Bro, I suddenly like ham and stealth. Did you ever imagine that could happen? What's next? Am I going to start to like that orange asshole who plays an invisible accordion and destroys economies? I'll keep it to the one question. I'll answer that one. I'll answer that one myself. Okay, so he doesn't want an answer. He just wanted to bring those filthy politics into video games. That sneaky son of a bitch.
Nothing that's happening in world economics will ever influence anything in video games. I don't know why you're bringing it up, John.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like politics has nothing to do with everything that happens in our daily lives.
Invisible accordion playing. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's really good.
God. That's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's been fun. It's been a blast. It's been 2.5 hours of shenanigans with the wonderful Kay Asante. Folks, if you wanted to find Kay Asante, I have to ask Kay, where could they find you, Kay?
All over the old interwebs. I tend to be TK0 Asante on all those places. These days, I'm finding myself in Blue Sky. I like that place. It's fun, you know.
I don't have to
also
block anyone
frequent
there.
Twitter and all those things. Yeah, you know, but I usually use social media for what it's for. Just like some chats. If you want to get slanderous with me, it tends to be on the Discord. We have a Discord channel for GCP. We have like lots of crazy fun conversations in there
You
as
should
well.
invite me to that Discord.
Or, of course. Yeah, I definitely will. Absolutely.
I like feeling
So
like a
much fun in
minor
there.
celebrity for some weird reason.
It's good. It's good. We'll definitely get you guys in there. That's awesome. And yeah, so
You don't want John.
I will be. I will invite
He's too
everybody.
British.
Anyone's welcome to join us and hear some unvarnished takes from people. It's always fun. It's always.
I will
we have a good time.
happily join another
Yeah, we have
Discord
a good
server
time.
and immediately mute it and never interact.
There you
with
go,
it
and never again interact.
But you get
again.
their
That's
emojis.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I do like
Yes,
getting all the
which is always a
emojis.
plus. Which is always a plus. Which is always a plus. Yes. But besides that, we'll probably be at PAX East soon enough in May.
I thought about going,
May
but
8th. Yeah,
expensive.
Yeah.
Are you running the Console Wars, the card game booth at PAX East for me?
I mean, we could talk in the background, sir. If I had
You got a $40 budget.
if I had a deck, I might be able to take your wares to the promised land, but that's neither here nor there. I will continue.
Look,
I started with slander and I'm leaving with slander.
I actually realized that I went to answer your question about where is your copy of the game. The production company did update me just before Good Friday kicked off. When I woke up, I had an email saying that they will actually arrive with the fulfillment center, so should start shipping this coming week. Obviously, we have to bear Easter Monday in mind, not Good Monday.
Easter Sunday.
Easter Monday. Monday. I know it's Sunday tomorrow, but we've got Monday too before the working week begins again. So I'm presuming
we don't get.
Americans might have a religious
America
holiday.
doesn't get that shit off. You kidding? We hate employees
Oh,
here.
okay, alrighty then.
At the most, you might get a floating holiday,
Okay.
or you can just accept a day's pay if you've got a good job. But for most people, it's just a
Monday.
hey.
Yep, it's just
take that,
normal
employees.
on Monday. Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
and I
Which is
wanna-
so sad.
I want to talk about this before we wrap the show. This week, I spent the last 5 days binging The Pit, which is a medical drama starring Noah Weil from ER back in the day, right?
Okay.
And I understand it was actually originally pitched as an ER sequel, like a reboot, but then the people that owned the IP were like, fuck you, no. So they've done their own thing, and it's won tons of awards for being really good. Holy crap, it had me engaged. It is 15 hours, 1 ER crew, 1 shift. So every episode is real time of what, arguably, because it's TV, must be the worst day ever for a shift to have to deal with.
In Pittsburgh, that's pretty normal.
In Pittsburgh, and honestly, it touches upon tons of like real world concerns, like the state of American healthcare, how we treat the people that are trying to help us, gun control in America,
gun controls for commies, brother.
Racism, everything, and it touches it all in what I felt were really effective ways. It is a solid show, and I would thoroughly recommend it to anybody that would like to.
Excellent.
It was honestly a little bit dry. I would call it the Bear of medical dramas. If you're a fan of the Bear, like like the tension you might have felt. If that, but for a medical, I was like, and some of some of the medical stuff was grim as like real bad.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Yeah. It's a solid watch, honestly. Outside of that, we will be back on Tuesday for another episode of Xbox Era Headlines. I'm not actually expecting a huge amount of news because of the whole Easter stuff. But nonetheless, we'll be there rocking it and telling you what's going on. Outside of that, it's been a really wonderful show and I've enjoyed it. And thank you very much to Mr. K. Asante for coming and hang out and fill in for Nick. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you guys for having me. Always a pleasure. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
To the chat, you know the drill. Go out there, enjoy a couple of days of your extended weekend if you get one. Play some video games, have fun, be good to each other. And we'll see you next time. Ciao for now. Fuck me. Fucking soundbox.
Inspire this memories. would cease. Taekwondo is our way of life. We will stop the senseless killing. We will end this evil war. We will stop the senseless killing. We'll leave it on the score. Against the ninja, we will fight the battle to win. Against the ninja, we will fight to battle the sin. Taekwondo, 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 Taekwondo. We will stop the senseless killing. We will end this evil war. We will stop the senseless killing. We'll leave it up the score. Against the ninja, we will fight the battle to win. Against the ninja, we will fight the battle to sin. Taekwondo.